So at the risk of breaking us up immediately after our brief hiatus for 300.
Well, after 300, every time.
Every time something bad happens. Every time something happens. Sanjay, listener, hit us up and was like, what? Two things. What is up with the what is art discussion? Oh. And can you guys have it a little bit? Because it sounds interesting.
Can you reference back?
So, yes.
It's from before episode 100.
Yes. So I will tell you, I'll tell you the backstory to it real quick. Adam and I were going to do a Q&A with Jisk. That's kind of how Jisk started getting into the fold recording on our end.
Assuming you've been here since Adam's been here.
I don't think so.
Sanjay?
I don't think so.
This podcast used to be Bobby and Adam.
Correct.
Without me or Chris.
Correct. And the first question that he asked just was, what is art? And Adam and I got into an intense argument about it where I couldn't move on. Like, I couldn't move on for more questions. I was like, my vibe is so fucked up that, like, it's like I got to do this another day.
You had to delete the record. You didn't put that out.
Yeah, no. And as a result, it's kind of become a running joke ever since of like, well, what is art? Like, whenever art gets mentioned or
that came out a second time, didn't it?
Yes, it did. And it didn't go well then either.
That's when it really started.
You would always
to be a thing.
We don't want to do this.
Yeah, I would say
it kind of gotten to that point.
Yeah. So it wasn't just the one time. It was the second time that came up. Same thing happened.
Right.
And then it's like, no more.
So let me tell you what I think art is. And when I had this discussion, it's like, to me, it was like we're having a discussion. I think sometimes with conversations like that, looking back on it, like, I think I need to know sometimes what the temperature is of a like, are we trying to, someone's going to be right and someone's going to be wrong here? Is that the intention? Or are we trying to have an exchange of ideas?
Right.
Yeah.
It's important for me because if it's going to be someone's going to be right and someone's going to be wrong, I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to change my view on it just because it's something that I've really thought about, you know? So I would just choose now at this point in my life to just, okay, fair enough. I will not engage.
Yeah, anytime an argument comes up, that's my vibe. Like, I'm not going to argue with anyone because no one's going to change their mind. Unless I think there's a way I can change my mind or they can change my mind. There's no reason to talk about it.
Right. So my view is that art is pretty much up to the artist. Like, whatever art is up to the artist. So the person that's making it, painting it, singing it, writing it, creating it, sculpting it, whatever the case may be, if in their heart they're like, I'm expressing something through this medium and it is my art, then it's art.
Is an architect an artist?
If he is trying to express something.
Yeah. It's the intention that counts.
Yes. So it can be.
Well, that's the intention.
But like a lot, it's a slippery slope too, because a lot of things is considered art, but the intention might not be. Like commercial art, right? It is a product. It is money. Like, it's not necessary to express anything. It could be like, let me pay you to doodle this or draw this, and then you draw it. It's like, is that art? That's when it becomes questionable whether the artist actually puts anything into it or going through the motion. It's up to the artist also at that point also.
What about...
But everybody else would see it as art. Like, if you see a nicely painted picture, you automatically assume that that's art.
Correct. Go ahead.
What about creativity, which I guess creativity and art go hand in hand. What about creativity for necessity? What if you have to make clothes for your family? Like, you know how to sew, and is that art?
No,
it depends. Okay. Like you can sew a burlap sack together that's serviceable, or you can put some trim.
Oh yeah, you can probably sell
that makes a difference.
You can sell that burlap sap for $2,000.
Sap. That's true too. But I was gonna say, so like if you're like fuck, we just need warmth. I'm just going to sew these things together and put them on you so that you don't freeze.
Right.
That's one thing. If you're like. And you still get creativity points for sewing the stuff together.
I think art's intentional. I think Picasso started drawing pictures and putting shit together because he wanted to be creative. Because he had something in his head he had to get out.
So like the one of the things that came up was in that heated conversation was the guy that put like glasses on the floor, like a pair of spectacles on the floor at an art museum. Right. Mm-hmm. And people were walking up to it like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Look at the, whatever it was.
Right.
but like my argument was like, dude, that kind of is art. It's kind of goofy that those people were having that reaction, but that's the reaction he was trying to prove. That's the art of it.
Right.
That was the art.
You know,
Exactly.
so that's what it comes down to for me. I think that like if like because I have this this discussion with my kids sometimes. Like my because there have been times where I've drawn something. Right now, I'm working on a commission. Right.
Oh, nice. You're drawing.
I am. And I'll tell you, this one face ended up having a little bit of an anime vibe to it. It made me think of you. I was like, I got to get him out of here.
The influences, man. Artistic influence, right?
But it had a little bit of. I mean, it's not crazy anime, but I was like, man, there's a sprinkle or a pinch of like the Vampire Hunter D-esque or the Castlevania-esque kind of style. Just a pinch, but I see it. You know.
It was put inside you.
Hey you. So you should. I put that inside. She'll say like, well, you're an artist, and I'm like, well, sometimes like I was like, and then I'll go through like my portfolio with her, and I'll be like, look, this wasn't. This commission that I'm working on isn't. Because I'm doing it for the job. Mm-hmm. I'm enjoying elements of doing it.
I disagree with you because I think being an artist that is appreciated to the point where people will pay you for your art, I think that's the.
It can be.
I think that's the pinnacle of
it can be
being an artist.
But it comes down to your intention.
But it comes down to your intention.
Like not all commissions are not art.
Right.
But
exactly.
Like, it depends how you take the commission.
So like if he was like,
if you just like putting it together exactly, what are your directions? Draw this line here, and then you draw it. Whether I want this idea done, and you think about how to put the idea on paper.
If somebody sends you X-Men #1 cover and it's like, hey, I want you to do this in your style.
Right.
I don't think that's art.
Right.
I think that is
a job.
Yeah.
So,
but I'll give you an example. If I've got a guy I've become friends with, the name's I think it's Desultory Toys on Instagram. His name's Jesse. I've met him several times at toy shows in South Jersey and stuff. He's doing these crazy builds on these custom cars for 1/12. I bought this hot rod from him. I've got a model kit I'm going to send him to build, and I said I have like 3 things I want it to be. But then I just want it to be you.
Yeah.
Right.
I want your art.
Right,
I appreciate what you do.
Right. So like this particular job.
But hang on a sec. But if I said, hey, I'm seeing this model kit. I want the John Wick car.
Right.
That's not the same.
Listen, there's a lot of techniques in there. There's a lot of skill involved in doing it. But I think to a point, replicating something you've seen is different than creating something from scratch. So, from your mind.
It's
From
like
your mind.
skilled labor versus.
It can be, but it can also be like if he was like if he was like a John Wick fanatic.
Yeah.
And then he was really trying to express his love for John Wick in that car and painting little things on it that he's like, man, this was from when he got into a scuff with somebody and they probably nicked the door right here and I'm putting this little thing in and whatever. Like I think it can be. This guy that sent me this is like I'm trying to do a good job and I want his project to be successul and I'm putting all that I have into it. And I told him initially, I was like, look, man, I might not be the right guy. I might not have the strongest skill set for you. This is the second cover I've done for him.
Okay.
So,
like the first one.
Yeah, well enough. So, I mean, that's good. Or he may just not know anybody else. So I don't necessarily consider art because I'm not really expressing anything in it. I don't really know the characters. I don't really know what's going on. I'm just doing, but Bobby used to be really part of the realm back in the day. He does a lot of Star Wars stuff now.
Are you talking to yourself in third person?
No. But he hit me up to do a commission for Captain Rex, and I put my all into that shit. And like when I did that, I was like, man, like this is him at the end of the war. This is a war-torn Captain Rex that's seen it all, that has PTSD, that he doesn't like. This is that guy, right? So I am expressing something into that, but that's one of the few pieces that I've done where I've that's art. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's about the intention.
Yeah, the Ahsoka one is another one where I was really trying to express something there. But not all of the ones that I've done.
One of my favorites of yours,
which I appreciate, but not all of them. Not all of them have been. The fucking that's not. That was a job.
So I will say that I don't know, man, because here. You have a skill set.
Correct.
that you had to have developed to
Correct.
do art.
Correct.
That you used, and we're looking at the quintessential pieces in Bobby's Skullface. In any collector's collection.
Yes.
The
Moss Toys,
the Moss Toys
skiff.
trifecta.
3 boxes.
3 boxes.
3 box arts.
Limited edition.
Yeah.
Very limited. Never to be made again.
And you have 3 cases of each, right? There's still,
No.
you don't.
No.
Oh, you sold them. Okay. But saying that, that is your art on there.
So that's where I differ. I feel like that is a skill set that I've put onto that, but my intention was never to express anything, and I had to be honest with myself about what I'm trying to do, and what I was trying to do was make something look cool, but not really express anything.
There's a lot of things that are done highly skilled. You have to be highly skilled to do it, and only very few people do it, but that doesn't make it art.
Yes.
So, I'll say, let's see, Toy Fair 2019, 15 years ago, 2019, we did 5 displays for Mezco based on the drawings he gave me to make those things happen. Skill set had to be off the charts for that.
Correct.
But at the end of the day, it was what they wanted.
Right.
Where does that lie?
What is your intention?
Exactly. It comes down to you.
Was you doing a job, or were you putting something about yourself in there?
I was just trying to show off, if I'm being honest, because I knew how many eyes were going to be.
So, I mean,
I put the sauce on all of it.
Right.
That could be art then, because you're putting something of yourself out there. That's representing you. You're like, this is me. Look at me. I think that's art.
You see it.
So the other side of that is like the stuff we do, the Mythic Pieces stuff in the complex. That's completely from
and that's
inside my psychotic brain. Is that
I think
is that different from an art standpoint than what I do
I
for?
think it comes down to you again.
Yeah.
That's kind of the beauty of it, is that like you can never tell an artist that he's not an artist or she's not an artist.
I mean, when Joe's posing with his shirt off, that's art.
Could be. Could be.
He's chiseled.
He's trying to express his hunger.
Except yesterday.
Except yesterday, yeah.
I mean, the only problem. Well, I think there's 2 things. One is like there's a general idea of the word art, and we use it without the deeper meaning.
Correct.
If you see a picture, you call it art.
Correct.
Because that's the definition, right?
Correct.
And the second thing is, if you don't have the benefit of having the artist around to tell you.
Correct.
Or if you don't,
then you're only left to assume.
Exactly. And then I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. At that point, if the artist isn't there, if the source material isn't there, that's up for your interpretation at that point, and you're not wrong either way.
So it's like the appreciation of the creation is left up to the spectator.
Yeah.
The determination. I thought I sounded like Jesse Jackson.
A lot of Asian there.
Preach, bro.
The determination of whether or not it's art for me is left up to the artist, and there's really no way to know. And you can have you can have a skill set and it can be used for art or not be used for art, or
because like the masters we have left, right? Those are all commissions. A lot of them are commissioned. The chapel was a fucking commission. Like Mona Lisa, like a lot of shit were commissions. Like, what is to say it wasn't just a really fucking good artist going by that they
it could have been. It could have been. There was some meme that somebody sent me recently. It was like Michelangelo. Like he was like, yeah, I'll take your job to paint on the ceiling for fucking years, but I'm gonna draw a lot of dicks, dude. a lot.
And you can't reach them to take them down. A lot.
So I think that does just about wrap it up.
So it's whatever you think art is.
Yeah.
Is art.
Yeah, that's how. Well,
I mean, it's a humanities. It's subjective. I don't really, honestly, at the end of the day, think there's an objective definition of it.
Yeah, I think it varies piece to piece based on the intent of the creator.
Just buy NFTs.
And like, and sometimes even like the artist questions whether it's art or not. Like you were questioning whether your piece is art or not just now. So like it's so vague.
There's some that I quite like. My the last Dinobot one that I did. I did the blanket run for. Like in my head, I just wanted to draw the Dinobots because I like the Dinobots. I think they're cool, and I wanted to have different flavors of fans toys involved in them, and like there was decisions that I was making to celebrate certain things that I like. But when I did it with just the intention of I'm going to make something that's cool.
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily to express anything, but then I'm not sure if during it I wasn't expressing my love for them within it.
Correct.
And then at that point, that piece changes from what it is, from just something like something that's cool, a creation,
Right.
to an art.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about it with music all the time. There's people that like really pour their soul into something, and it can be like a pop song, but it's their song. And then there's also something that can be completely
Jingles.
like that, like and
Just had to sit around and make tunes all day.
Or you could put on a beat right now, and we could poorly freestyle, and it might be the number one record by the end of the week.
Could be.
You never know.
Anything could happen.
build the booth. All right, Joe, you technically got your coffee first. Chris, how was your long ass nerd week?
Oh man, it was so long. How long was it?
2 weeks long.
Oh,
the
man.
week was so long that was 2 weeks.
You guys ever been in an Apple store, like at the mall?
Fuck no.
Definitely.
All right, but you know what I'm talking about. It's always super crowded. It is all I don't even like going in there because it's normally assholes to elbows. And the worst thing, Joe, is if you fart in there, it just lingers because they don't have windows.
We just got back from 2 weeks, bro.
I know.
We just had an art discussion.
I had
you
to-
motherfucker.
That was art. I delivered art to you.
And we've defined it as up to the artist to interpret whether it's art or not, you motherfucker.
You know,
That was a
so
long setup, bro.
it was. And
I played a long game.
It was shorter than the original version because I had a whole Bill Gates, Melinda Gates divorce tie-in that it was just going too far. Question: do you, and I've seen both of you while you eat, but I don't pay any attention. Do you cut up all your meat? Like, if you get a steak, is it going into bite-sized pieces immediately, or do you cut as you go?
I cut as I go.
Okay.
No.
Just curious.
Unless someone already pre-cut it for me. Or something.
What?
No,
Yo.
like when it's cooked, cut.
Oh,
cut
okay,
up.
okay.
Because sometimes steak is cut up. I
was like-
black pepper steak from Chinese food.
I was like, look, man. I was like, people say that I'm a child.
Take it.
You missed it.
Hey, I'll cut out Bobby's steak. He feeds me crab.
I have
Well, you have done
Like a
that.
baby bird, he's a little piece of crab meat.
I have picked crab for him.
Bobby likes feeding people. He was feeding fucking Cody pizza from
No,
his hand.
I refrained.
A mouth coming at you, bro.
Legit, I worked with a guy who was my age who had he readily admitted second wife, he had totally outpunted his coverage, so to speak, way out of his league.
Uh-huh.
He cut our meat up at in public.
I'll do it.
I got you.
Yeah,
I'll do it. Shit.
Daddy got you.
yeah. Okay. Ordinal eating. Are you guys familiar with ordinal eating? That's like you got a Play-Doh, you got mashed potatoes, you got peas. So far, Bobby's out. And you got a steak. So, I don't do this, but a lot of people they'll eat all their mashed potatoes and then they'll eat.
That's Bobby.
Are you an ordinal
Yeah.
eater?
He does not
Okay.
mix things together.
I certainly don't mix things together, and I eat one thing and then I eat the other thing.
Okay, so you're an ordinal
it's
eater.
like-
I wonder
it's
what
like-
that is. I wonder why that is. I mean,
He
it's
doesn't
not
like to
it's
mix
not
things.
uncommon.
He likes to segregate things, is what it is.
Don't do that. and I play out. So like I strategically, because I want to end on a high note.
Oh, that I do.
Right?
That I do.
So, like, if I'm having, like, let's say this is a very common meal in my house.
Mm-hmm.
Grilled chicken, asparagus, and rice.
and ketchup. It's one of the four major food groups, I think.
See, Jane and I do plow through some ketchup. I was at work the other day, and I went to, like, we have, like, a commissary type ketchup situation, you know? And I opened it up, and that shit said fancy ketchup.
I've seen it.
Ketchup or ketchup?
Ketchup.
It
No,
No,
actually
that's
had-
fancy mustard too. I've seen it.
And I was like, if you all don't get this shit out of here. Get
some
I was like, I
Heinz.
know your paycheck is as good as mine is.
Get some Heinz. Stop shopping at the Dollar Tree for condiments.
God bless. Anyway, fancy ketchup. I'm taking a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it tomorrow.
What about Fans Toys ketchup?
$450?
$450. Total sidebar. Fans Toys put out a pre-order yesterday
They did?
for Skull Cruncher. It's $230.
Jeez, people buy it.
I mean, 5 years ago or 3 years ago, that would have
100.
been $125
Yeah,
maybe,
exactly,
and people would have complained. It's sold out everywhere.
Of course,
It's sold out
because
everywhere.
Bobby bought all of them at the same time.
He probably he gets his cases in.
Oh, yes.
he gets his wholesale. I don't know. You got rid of the Moss Toys. You got room for a couple more cases of Fans Toys, I guess.
I'm surprised Bobby doesn't have fucking cafeteria trays upstairs. that he eats from. They sell them, Bobby.
They do. Yeah, they got they're just like the
IKEA.
lunch, the little sectioned off.
I should have one.
So I just pre-ordered it.
Who had it up? Who's got it up?
BBTS.
Oh shit! I'm gonna grab one too. Hang on a second.
This is a fans toys break. That's how serious it is. We're having a fans toys pre-order break
Yeah,
for Skull Cruncher.
They must have just dropped it then.
Yeah.
What's it called? Its name.
It's right on the front page.
I don't get the front page anymore.
No.
It is.
It's just like how you don't get
me
ads on YouTube.
You know what's crazy? You have to put a deposit down for fucking Hot Toys, and you don't for this shit.
Yeah, that is.
And it's $240 there.
I only have to put deposit down on like really
Limit
high
one
price items,
and
though.
it's limit one per customer too.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, let me check out there real quick.
Yeah, but you gotta grab it. You gotta. So
I'm surprised you didn't already order it yesterday.
So I had one lined up. I have one lined up with the toy guy, but I always
Make sure.
with Fans Toys. I always put down some insurance.
Yeah,
Now I'll either hold on to this or cancel it.
You can always resell.
Right. So, but I mean, a lot of times people like shout out to Randy. Like he's hit me up before and been like, "Dude, do you have? I missed the boat. Do you have? You know what I mean? I'm like, look, I might. Ow! And that's something that I'll never ever do again. So where were we at before Fans Toys?
Cafeteria trays. You need cafeteria trays because you're a child. Also,
Yeah, with the little sections.
Yeah. So like,
Put your applesauce in them.
I like the chicken, and I like the rice is my favorite. Mm-hmm. So, but the chicken I have to eat because it's worse cold. Like it's best hot, right? So like I eat it straight away, and then I go to the asparagus so that I can end on the rice.
Yes.
Now, if it's fried chicken, I'll go the same way, but I might have one extra piece of fried chicken at the end. So I still am clearing.
I don't think it out that much.
I do. I go further. Like my last bite has to be good. So like,
Yeah, I do.
My last piece of chicken has to have the most fried skin on it, or like a steak has the last piece. Well, not for you, but the last piece of steak is the most fattiest. But I eat sandwiches all the way around the edges, and I eat the middle last.
It depends on the sandwich.
I know that's rare, but I've seen other people do it.
That's how I eat pizza.
Eat the crust first.
No,
some people do.
I eat all the way around then. Spiral in.
I do. Pizza, I do eat crust first. Depends on what the crust. If I like the crust, then I don't do it. But if it's just like some bullshit crust, I eat the crust first because I don't like to waste food. But some people just leave the fucking crust.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
People do that. You see a fucking box full of crust. I'm like,
It depends on. I do that.
I'm watching my carbs,
occasionally.
bitch. You just had 4 slices.
Yeah.
There's just a pile of crust in your box, but you're still getting fat.
You got the Diet Coke, bro?
So a couple weekends ago, I went to Toy Con, New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
It was like the first
Con in 2 years.
First con I've been to in since Toy Fair 2020 was the last thing I went to, and it was 2020. I misspoke earlier. It was cool. Me and Brian Brink. I drove over to his house, and Brian says, "Boy, I'm glad you came over. I haven't cleaned the house in a year." So nice to motivate people. And then we drove up to Wayne, New Jersey, which is actually north of the city, and 4:00 on a Friday. Guess what you run into?
Right.
So me and Brian spent a lot of time in the car. But that was cool, and the next morning went to the toy show. The Mythic Legions was 4 Horsemen were there, and they were selling. They had a great selection of stuff. If you wanted to get in this line, that was a place to be because they had probably damn near the past 2 years worth of stuff available.
Wow.
The line was insane. So early bird was 9:00 to get into this show. And we got there at like 8:15, and there were probably 100 people ahead of us.
Damn,
It's crazy. The Mythics line ran. People were desperate to do something. The Mythics line went out the side door, and then outside to some length. I said, I'm not standing in that line. I'll hop in at some point. So Matt H was there. I got to hang out with him a bit. Met his lady. That was nice.
That's a cool dude, man.
Yeah, he is. So he was in the Mythics line right by the door.
That's where he belongs.
He only wanted one. There's an ogre that's got a beard, and he's like, I just want
no
this
doubt,
bearded ogre.
No doubt in my mind.
So I hop in line. I'm going to the end of the line. I come to the conclusion. I've done everything I want to do here. I bought this little like grandma shopping cart like you push around the market. Yeah. It's not Asian at all because it's too big. It's tall. Joe could have ridden in it.
That would have been a sight.
Well, of course, we established a realm corner.
Right.
Where everybody,
of course.
So I left my cart there. And I went, and I was just going to get in this line, and Matt's like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to get in line." He's like, "No, you're in line right here." I'm like, "Okay." Mm-hmm. So right after that, they shut the door. There's nobody else outside, so the line has gotten to where it's just the length of the room, which is still pretty significant. And Brian Brink wanders over too, and we're just kind of bullshitting, talking about where we're going to go to lunch. And a lady with a Toy Con shirt walks up and says, "Hey, you guys in line?" And Brian's like, I'm just standing here. It's like, well, I mean, I guess I'm in line. And she's like, well, somebody said y'all were cutting line. And I look back, I'm like, somebody just fucking tattled on me at a toy show for cutting in a line that is, the end of the line was like your staircase from here.
Right.
I was like, nah, I didn't cut in line.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. Getting tattled on at a toy show.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And they had I'm not gonna say an infinite amount of like anything you wanted, they had there. So
it's not like it's not limited edition shit. Oh, at the least they can fucking do is holler like, "Hey, get the fuck out!"
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's the move to do.
I mean, because I'm not gonna lie to you. When Brink came up, like a third person came up, I'd be like, "What's going on, fellas?
Yeah,
what are we doing? Let me know."
But not to like go to a staff.
Yeah,
member.
I'm not gonna go to some 16-year-old girl to
these guys. I've been waiting in this line for an hour
and call her Miss.
The crazy thing about it. The crazy thing about like Chuck waited in line, I think 2 hours to get the Mythic stuff, and then by the time we came back from lunch, it was like, just walk up and get what you want. There wasn't a line.
Right. I hate that.
But
shit.
it's the fear of
of course.
the literal. It's the FOMO while you're there.
Yeah.
I saw some crazy shit there. I saw there was somebody with a Unicron, Hasbro Unicron for $1,400, and it was gone by the time we left.
They probably kicked their own ass. They probably I should have gone higher.
Yeah.
They probably could have sold that shit for $2,000.
Somebody bought a USS Flag while we were there.
Complete?
Yeah, I heard you say.
I don't know how complete it was. The box was there, and they actually had the shipping box too, which I'd never seen before.
Oh, so it might be complete.
I don't know what they were asking for it. I just noticed it was there, and then somebody told me that it sold.
I was also curious, like, what's the word on the Sentinel?
I mean, they showed it.
Did you buy one?
I didn't get a Sentinel, no. They were showing it. They had that Hasbro Fan Fest thing, I guess, not too long ago.
I just feel like it's been quiet. Like, it's been like usually you get like updates and shit.
It may just be to the point where they're putting shit together and there's nothing, nothing to share. We're supposed to get that this year. Supposed to get the Razor Crest this year. I think I'm just going to blow mine up. Make it film accurate.
You do your own diorama.
There you go.
That'll be your first diorama.
I watched Kelly and I watched
some people have the balls and money to do that. Like with the 40K stuff, people get Forge World stuff, which is the high end resin stuff. Like we're talking about $500 to $1,000 pieces, and use that as terrain. Like fuck it up, make it look battle damage, and use it as terrain. I'm like, dude,
there you go.
Baller.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Now I've also seen, like, I think the most common one is when you have a tank that's like 10 years old and that shit looks dated as fuck now. You're like, oh fuck, let's cut this in half and use it.
Exactly. That's not brand new high end item.
I actually have a 40K item in my notes today. So I was looking at some pictures from a deathmatch wrestling show. You know, this is where they do the light tubes and the razor blades and all that shit.
Razor blades.
Somebody had brought a piece of plywood with, I'd say, 100 models glued to it for somebody to like take a back bump on.
Dude,
that's gonna hurt.
That's gonna hurt.
I mean, it's not gonna penetrate or anything.
Well, it depends. The old ones are pewter.
Oh shit,
metal.
That's
true.
True.
I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know if they were pewter or not. I just thought that was funny.
And lead before that.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh god.
Just straight inject lead into you.
We watched the Zack Snyder masterpiece, Army of the Dead.
I was on the fence about watching that. You know how much I love fun romps and zombie movies.
It is so. I
don't think
bad.
I thought it was great.
Oh, was it?
I mean, it's a zombie movie,
right.
But it's a unique concept. At least, like they have. It's just Las Vegas. They've literally put like 3 high shipping containers around the whole city and boxed in the.
That's kind of cool. You know what? Write them off.
Yeah. Fuck them.
So that's the plan. I mean, not to spoil it, but that's the plan. Is they're gonna nuke the city. And
really?
It's gonna be because they're nowhere else.
Right.
Nice. Good. I mean, that's just. I think that's good.
So it opens.
It's a tactically strong plan.
It opens a couple little opening things, and then there's a montage about how everything. It's a great way to tell the story. To get
his montages are amazing.
It goes from
Every time.
okay, this is fucked up, this happened, to holy shit. There's just one shot. Imagine this. You're in some sort of aircraft that gets shot down over this place, and you have a parachute.
Oh, no.
And you're slowly dropping in, and they're just reaching up for you. There's nothing you can do. And it's shot so well, so the guy goes in, and then they start devouring him. Then the white parachute covers him, and then it just starts turning red. Oh, it's such a cool
Dude,
shot.
at that point, you should just like unstrap yourself and fall, bro.
Well,
Yeah, just die.
It's like a I think that they should just leave it open and like send like just like convicted pedophiles and stuff.
Just
like,
send-
there you go.
You know what I mean? Just drop them in.
So there's a little, if you watch this, it popped up for me after it's like a 30-minute behind the scenes making of thing. Zack Snyder literally shot this, like held the camera for a lot of it.
Wow.
And they
Well, so
use
like-
these 8K cameras that give you this
8K.
incredible...
That's more real than real life. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it is.
You don't see an 8K in real life,
if,
bro.
If we were doing 8K right now, everything would be blurred except you.
And you see all my like every single fucking dot on my face.
But I
You
think...
probably see like, yeah.
I will guess, and they were talking about like they had like I don't remember how many people. You've got the A-list zombies in their makeup, and then the B-list zombies, and then by the back of the shot, you've got just people with masks on.
Right.
And
it works.
But with the 8K camera, it's so much depth involved. Like, you're not going to see that anyways.
So was it like 4 hours long with 2 hours of slow mo?
I didn't see too much slow mo.
His montages though, like the Watchmen. You saw the Watchmen?
Yeah.
The Watchmen montage is fucking amazing. Even in the Justice League, which I know they say it's not his, but it feels like his. But that Justice League montage with they're showing what the world is like without Superman over the Everybody Knows song. And there's another one I feel like, and maybe it's the montage of Batman's parents and all that, and him running and falling into the, it's fucking like he does that shit strong. He's a visual person. I think that's why he's like Nolan's boy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like because he's a visual dude.
He did Dawn of the Dead, didn't he?
Right.
And that was a great zombie movie.
Yeah.
great remake. I really like. It's one of the best.
So this has
one
some
of the best zombie movies.
This has some original concepts that are pretty cool, and there's a heist element involved. So, and I love a good heist movie. I really like the Ocean's films and the Italian Job.
of course.
I don't know why it's funny, but it is funny.
Yeah, right.
I like a good. I really do like a good.
I mean, I do. I enjoy a good heist movie. Of course, set in Vegas, there's all sorts of. So there's an element to that. The reason they're going here, the plot's okay. Dave Bautista stars, the wrestler Bautista.
Yeah.
He does. I think he does
Drax.
a good job. Drax, sure. We all know him somehow or another. But he moves so slow. Bobby, it's
yeah.
He probably hates it.
Yeah, I do.
Fucking hates it.
And he's not like that either. Like it's like, but go ahead.
But not like it's a movie. Don't
Yeah,
relate it to
no,
the
I
books.
get you.
That's how you not enjoy things by being that guy's like, well, actually.
But no, but sometimes it's like, oh, you see it. They take, you know what I mean? Where they like take the spirit of something and then even extrapolate it to like a point where it's more interesting now. Thanos and the glove, and you know what I mean? It's like the movie version's way more interesting.
Oh yeah.
Than
turned on NASCAR the other day, and just randomly flipping channels.
Is it
I'm like,
because
let
you
me
had
see
potato
what the
salad
race is.
and then you were like, oh shit, let me turn on NASCAR.
Well, this
and
is,
just put your toes in the Alabama white sauce.
That's what it is. So we're sitting. I think we were eating lunch or something, and it was on. And Mason says, "Isn't that the guy that's racist?" I said, "Mason, they're called racers. They're not called racist just because they drive race cars."
Oh, some of them might be.
I just thought that was funny. Racist race car racer with an eraser, with a copy of Eraser.
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger. We booked a cruise.
Yes,
for December.
Where are you going?
Southern Caribbean.
Okay.
and taking the whole goof
Like
troop.
with like Nassau and
Come
shit?
on now. There's no helmets. Yeah,
That's what I call my
I
family
know.
too.
I know. I don't know. I know we're going to the Carousel. There's
Carousel. Yeah.
It's very horribly mispronounced, and I don't remember where else we're going. I never know where we're going on these cruises, and most of the time I don't remember where we go on these cruises.
It's all the same.
I
It
just
doesn't
know
matter.
that it's fun.
Which
But
company is it?
It's Royal Caribbean on the brand new ship. I don't know the name of it, but it's got all the bells.
new.
It's got bumper cars on it, and
It's fucking nuts.
and you know what they have? They have kids programs all day.
Love to hear
and
it.
almost So, if like there's nothing to do on this island for them, we want to do adult stuff. Go hang out in the whatever this is.
Local swingers bar.
Hopefully not.
Hedonism.
Hopefully not. So I watched a lot of wrestling, and we actually have some
Wrestling and
people
NASCAR,
who
man. Sounds like a good time.
enjoy my wrestling talk. I've
Yes,
been told.
yes, for sure.
AEW is my favorite promotion at the
They
moment.
make root beer.
They, dude, why have they not done that cross promotion?
I gotta stop drinking.
Somebody
stuff on
get
the show.
Tony Khan
Bro,
on the phone.
You should stop having me have drinks on this show because one of these they want to spit all over this fucking place.
A&W root beer presents AEW Double or Nothing, the root beer float match.
So
So
it could be the ladies wrestling and root beer and ice cream, bro.
Dude.
so they had a pay-per-view Sunday night, and then they actually had their shows normally Wednesday, but because of NBA playoffs, it got bumped to Friday. And they had a full capacity crowd for both of those shows. And I have to say, I'd forgotten how much fun wrestling is with people there reacting to things instead of pumped in crowd noise or AEW's been
The screens.
Yeah, well, see, they're not doing the screens. They're doing it outdoors. So they had pods of people. So they were like, they as capacity went up.
Right.
But it was really good. That pay-per-view was probably one of the best overall shows I have ever seen, wrestling shows. It was just so well put together.
Wow.
And I've actually started collecting the AEW wrestling figures.
I was let me tell you something. This morning, I was debating on whether or not to open with Art Talk or with where are we all right now with collecting.
Oh, I'm a train wreck.
I know.
I just have totes of shit because my shit's all fucked up.
And I've got actually some interesting stuff to say about it now, but we have a lot to talk about today, so I think I'm going to save it for next week. But yeah,
I did want to bring up a couple points of that. I've always loved wrestling, and I've collected wrestling figures on and off over the years. But like to jump into WWE wrestling figures right now, it's overwhelming. Bobby, there's so many. They've got ultimates and it's like trying to figure out which Ninja Turtles you want, but it's all the same company.
Well, that's how it was. Like kind of was for me when I get into the DC stuff, like figuring out like the scale lines and et cetera. Do all work?
So AEW's like I think the fifth wave has just come out. So
I've that many wrestlers.
Well, when you
or just any Joe Schmo will get a figure.
There's some Joe Schmoes getting figures, but it's listen, you've
3 3/4 style.
You've got your Optimus Prime.
Oh shit, they're making a figure of Pito Schnickles from the Cantina bar.
And Bobby would have to get it.
So the company that makes them is Jazzwares, and we've discussed Jazzwares before.
Yes.
They do the Fortnite figures, they do now. Hasbro's taking the license soon on the Fortnite, but it's an interesting company in the way they go to market. So these figures are hard to find at retail. They are. It's Walmart was the only place you could get them for a long time. Right. Is that wrestling figures Walmart? Yeah. Well, now you can find them. Now you can find them at Target as well.
They were in the camo section for some reason.
They probably were. Well, now they're available at Target too, so you can hold your fucking pinkies up while you're drinking your Starbucks that you just got.
Yeah, like I fixed the tucking in of the shirt.
There you go. You're blousing in the front, Bobby. You're blousing.
Oh, pardon me.
But there's two places to get them. The only place you can pre-order is a place called Ringside Collectibles. It's all wrestling stuff. And I pre-ordered some, and it said, I was like, so they do it in waves, so they get it in inventory. And it tells you, like, you're in wave 3. It'll ship early June.
Nice.
But the shit comes out so quick. It's reveal, about a month later, pre-order, about a month later, figures.
That's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be. It's
all
crazy.
products should be that way.
It would be nice.
It's I mean, it's a path to market I was unfamiliar. So I didn't pre-order immediately. I'm like, I've got time.
And like on that note, I think movies should be that way too. Personally, I know people like teasers and shit. I'm like, no, show me the movie's coming out. Tell me when the movie's coming out. Let me go watch a fucking movie. I don't need to fucking wait 6 months.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to do that yourself because people are too impatient.
Yeah.
So Dark Side of the Ring. We've talked about
Yes.
that. So there was
This is the Vice.
This is the Vice. 2 new items, 2 new episodes. The first one is actually I'll talk about the second one. The Ultimate Warrior. That guy.
He was my favorite because he was jacked and insane.
He was, and that was legit.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the shit that he did, he ruined himself. He was super paranoid, super jealous. Like, wrote Vince McMahon this letter that basically said, I want everything Hulk Hogan's getting. I want the same amount of money, same marketing. Like, Hulk's been doing this for like 20 years already, and you just kind of wandered in, and he couldn't wrestle for shit. He really could. If you watch his matches, they're awful.
Yeah.
He could do a press slam and he clothesline people. That's it.
It was really big.
But, he was roided out beyond belief, which back then, people don't realize it was illegal. A lot of that shit they were doing was totally legal. And then, trying to keep up with that. And I don't know, that it was an interesting episode.
What happened to him? What? Did he die?
So it's an interesting story. WWE decided to put them put him in their Hall of Fame after him he was like this crazy right-wing political guy, and he got put on. Yeah,
I said as a kid, you just don't pick that stuff up.
He was this was later in life. He became like a speaker. He'd go to places, and there were some videotapes.
Did he talk like a fucking wrestler?
Not really.
Dude, that would be a fucking amazing.
He didn't do he wasn't doing the full promo.
That guy.
Yeah. He said some crazy off the wall shit. Anyways, WWE finally embraced him, brought him in for a Hall of Fame. He came back on that Monday Night Raw and did a promo and died the next day.
Oh, good for him.
It was almost like, okay, I fixed all that shit. Had a heart attack and died.
That's
crazy.
That's great, and heart attack's not the worst way to go.
No, it isn't.
I think he got a good end.
The other episode that came out was called Collision in Korea.
Wait. Is collision spelled with a K?
Please.
It was not in the.
God damn it. Was Korea spelled with a C?
No. There were no misspellings involved.
I like that. You take the consolation prize.
So this was, I believe it was 1995. Have either of you ever heard of Antonio Inoki?
No.
He's like
It sounds familiar.
the wrestler from Japan.
Yeah.
So he's a huge He's gotten into politics in Japan. He's a huge
What's with
name.
wrestlers and really wanting to be in politics, man? There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of them.
Well, there's a handful. Good, bad, and
Well, I guess
otherwise.
musicians do it too. Actors do it. When you stop
Everybody
and think about
does
it,
it.
yeah.
Isn't the guy from Nirvana some kind of governor somewhere?
Is he really?
Who?
Not
the
Dave
guy-
Grohl.
Christ-
Not
Christ-
Dave Grohl and not the dead guy.
Christ
The other
Novoselic
one.
runs a political action campaign.
Not Foo Fighters.
I actually looked him up the other day because I was like, I know it. One of them's dead. The other one's really successful. And where's the other guy?
Yeah, I thought he was a political
He's
person.
involved in politics. Well, he may have been at some point, but he's
That's
not.
fucking fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go from Nirvana to politics.
And it
Probably
kinda makes sense.
Probably grew up a little bit, you know.
I mean, he was doing art,
Yeah.
Yeah.
expressing ideas, bro.
So Antonio Inoki was the biggest wrestler in Japan. You say his name. He had a fight, quote unquote, with Muhammad Ali.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, and he basically
Superman did too.
he basically
also
laid
true.
he basically laid on his back in a wrestling prone position so he couldn't get punched. It was an awful match, but it was a great exhibition.
Yeah, it's just for funsies.
Right.
So this was a New Japan Pro Wrestling was the promotion he was running, and WCW they had this. North Korea was having some sort of, this is North Korea, by the way.
Wow.
Having some sort of celebration of
I'm
somewhere.
sure.
And they wanted to bring pro wrestling there. And it was something to do with Inoki and his popularity even over there. I don't know. It was kind of sketchy the way it all came together. But the stories these guys were telling about what happened when they were there, like they were listening to their phone calls. This one guy, Scott Norton, said, I was telling my wife what a shithole it was. The next thing I know, somebody's knocking on my door and they dragged me down to this interrogation room because he was talking shit. Like one guy went out for a jog and like everybody was just, they'd never seen an American before. They were losing their, so then they get to do the wrestling and nobody's ready. They have no idea. These people have no idea what's going on. They're just sitting there because they have to be there.
Right.
And they said it was just the most surreal thing in the world.
Yeah. I believe it.
That was
That's
a
crazy.
that was
And
a crazy
like,
story.
Vice has gone to North Korea a handful of times. And anytime I watch one of those, I'm always like, fuck, man.
Oh, and Muhammad Ali was on that trip too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was like he couldn't really talk much anymore, but he was still able to move around a bit.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy story. I got a PS5. I don't know if I mentioned that.
No, you didn't.
Flex on everybody.
Had to figure out the process of how to get it, which is basically you follow a couple people on Twitter and they'll drop links, and you ended up getting it directly from Sony. They put you in a queue and then they dump you into a waiting line.
Really?
And then if you get it, you get it. I had, I think, 5 devices going at once, and they all have a countdown. And my main computer was like 17 minutes, and the rest of them were like an hour. I'm like, I think this is going to be it. I think we're going to get it.
I don't want it enough to sign up with Twitter.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I got Cyberpunk because that's a game I wanted to play, and I've been playing it.
Love
I
it.
got about 18 hours in. I'm having a really good time with it. It used to bother me, the motion, like if you're using one stick and you swing yourself around. That used to really bother me, but I think playing VR has got my brain a little adjusted to that.
Yeah, because VR is
so
more.
So I don't feel like I used to play, those kind of games for like an hour, and I'd be just out of it.
I remember when first like Wolfenstein when I was a kid. Like there was no first person shooter. That was the first one.
Right.
And I remember getting motion sickness from that.
Yeah.
But I eventually get over it.
What's crazy is that's a PS4 game. It's not even a PS5
Well,
game.
well,
But you have to
kinda-
have a PS5 to play
Yeah,
it.
they don't-
But
they don't
it
sell
is
it
a
on PS4.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing an upgrade at some point.
No, like Sony is like, no, you're not putting that shit in our store until it's completely fixed.
Yeah,
That's
I
what it is.
had to.
because like it was so buggy on the PlayStation, like you couldn't really play it, and Sony was like, take that shit
Well,
out.
it's not. You can't. I ended up getting the disc version of the console because it's not in their store.
Yeah, no, they won't sell it. I mean, which good on Sony. They're like, we're not putting bad product.
And it's glitched. It's glitched a bit on me.
They're still fixing it. I mean, they're still working on it at least.
Like I was playing a little bit before I came over, and I was actually running from the cops, and I ran up this staircase, and I went in this building, and I just ran in, and it was like there's a pool, like a swimming pool. But it was infinite. It just kept, and it kept trying to restart. I literally had to hard reboot the whole system.
Huh.
I mean, there's obviously others obviously supposed to be a character there because there's a gun floating in there. I think that's probably in a lot of games like that. I didn't
They're
realize.
supposed to fix it. I mean, not a AAA game shouldn't have that, especially a single player. Multiplayer games have a lot of glitches, but they rushed that game up because everyone was like.
You say they rushed that game out? Did you know the first teaser for that game came out 8 years ago?
Yeah, but also the fact that they keep saying it's not ready and people like release it.
You gotta have it
You know?
out. Yeah. So I've been enjoying it. I mean, I'm not a gamer.
Yeah,
So I'm probably doing things in a very
Not a gamer. Spent 18 hours on PS5.
well, right over the. I don't think. Listen, the amount of time you play a game has nothing to do with being a gamer. It's probably me fucking up and trying to figure out how to fucking
No,
ride
but
this
like
motorcycle.
a non-gamer wouldn't spend 18 hours on a single game. That's what I think.
think?
I think we're gamers. that
well,
don't-
it isn't.
I think we're gamers that have grown up and don't have the time to game anymore. If we had the opportunity and time, at heart, we're gamers.
Okay, I'll take that charge. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Like if you had the time, you would play.
It's almost like I don't. But with him, like I don't feel like I can like wear the title because like I play like I may have logged 24 hours into Spider-Man, but it was
got 100%.
only 24 hours that I logged into video games for the year.
But that's the only time you had. You set aside a time to get 100% on a game.
Well,
that makes you like.
I mean, I'm taking
like a game at heart,
I'm taking
right?
advantage
I
of
think-
time I would use to like watch bullshit TV. I'm just gonna play video games instead. You know.
So like a person who's not a gamer wouldn't take the time out. Wouldn't.
No, I
100%
think you're right. I think we're gamers at heart, but
Yeah.
I don't think that.
They just
I think
don't have
a
opportunity.
real gamer would be like.
So everybody in my house.
job.
Truthfully, I'm the only one that's not constantly playing. Like Mason plays games all the time. Kelly plays games all the time.
Yeah, if you have mobile, I'm always
the
gaming.
younger two play games all the time. So I was like, fuck, there's a lot of games like I want to try for this, but I kind of want to get through this one. I downloaded some demos and stuff. But we'll see. I had no idea how big that fucking thing is. It's huge.
It's beautiful.
I think it's this tall.
It's the power of
Like
a computer.
it's a
So it's gonna be
computer.
the size of a computer.
We have our TV mounted on the wall, and it just barely clears it.
Wow.
It's like, wow, you picked the perfect height for that.
And you can't lay it down.
You can, but I'm not that.
It's
kind
more.
of guy.
It's more aesthetic. It's more aesthetic standing up, bro.
Yeah, it just looks weird. It's very strange.
We're used to console standing up now. I remember PS2 came out, you had to buy an extra stand to stand it up to make it cool. And I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever stood him on
Same
that.
with the Wii. You can stand that shit up.
I'm 2 weeks behind on the Bad Batch, and I'm not sure that I care.
So I'm up
That's
to
kind of
date.
where I'm at with it.
I am
the
up
Bad
to
Batch.
date.
How many more episodes are there? Too many.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'll honestly, at this point, I'll probably just put it on one day when I'm working and just half-ass listen to it to get through it.
I will tell you that neither of the last 2 episodes have been consequential. They've kind of just been like Freak of the Week or like, Adventure of the Week styled episodes. There was one thing. Oh, this past episode, they go to a planet to free. Like they have to do a favor for a favor, right? They have to do a job for somebody in order to get what they want for something else, right?
No, the vibes.
So they go there and they have to free Roxy or whatever this fucking thing. Like they think it's a kid. I can't remember the name. Right?
Another kid.
And it is a kid. It's a juvenile. Like if you go free Roxy and get it to people that want it, then we'll get you such and such. So he said, okay.
And are they still toting around another kid also?
So no. So I think it might be the kid they needed to get back. No. It wasn't. It was money. I can't. It doesn't matter. Yeah, the kid's still around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's already one kid. And go get another kid.
So anyway, they go and free Roxy. Roxy is the Rancor from Jabba's palace, and then they give it to Bib Fortuna at the end of the episode, and that's so it's like,
fuck
like,
you. I know how you
Fan
die.
nod.
Yeah. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, like oh shit, it's Peter Schnickles, like you know what I mean, like one of those deals. But
doesn't want you make you get a baby Rancor.
Yeah. Oh, dude, wait till they roll that out.
Yeah.
And then show the kids what happened at the end. Say, oh, kids, you like this cute little fucking thing? Look, this is how it dies.
Yeah.
Luke kills it with a fucking door.
Joe.
Are you done? I thought you had
I'm
more.
done. That's it, man. I only went for 35 minutes. So.
Castlevania was really, really good.
Good.
Season 4 was good. I don't know if there's more. It doesn't need to be more. And I would watch the whole thing over again from the beginning. Because it's one long, great series.
It's only like 4 episodes a season, right?
Like 4 to 8.
4 to 8, okay.
I think this last season was 10.
Okay.
But like it was really good. It was really well done. The story was well done. Animation was well done. The acting was well done. Like it's really fucking good. So I suggest people who haven't jumped on board or think that's too late, there's a good time now. The thing is complete as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I watched the first couple. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Like the first couple episodes of the first season, I was like, it was alright.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you're into story, like, it builds and the whole thing.
I can believe it.
Like, the ending, like, the last scene, I feel like doesn't necessarily need to be there. Maybe they put it in so that they can have more future stuff, which I'm okay with. But, I'm always good with a good stopping point before things get to, like, episode 9, Mm-hmm. So that's fine. And there's a lot more Belmonts to explore other than Trevor. Berserk dies at 54.
Yeah, so that's in our notes.
Yeah, like well, I guess it still is my like favorite number. All my accounts, if I have to put a number in, is 54. I'm like, well, now I always remember that you died at 54. But it also, I don't know if it's controversial opinion, but I think can we talk about it now? I might as well, because you guys don't.
Yeah.
I'm mainly going to listen to you talk about it.
Definitely.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm interested in it from the fan perspective.
Yeah, and like just like any big fan base, there's going to be a variety of opinions, right? For me personally, like unless he left,
you had just talked about it on
that
the
day,
air.
that fucking day, that night, we got the news. I mean, he died a couple of days ago, but the announcement came that day that we talked about it.
That's true.
But unless he left specific notes on how things are, like major plot points, how it ends, little things, whatever. Unless he left notes of how it's supposed to end with the major characters, just leave it the fuck alone.
Did he have an ending in sight, or was it?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
No. I mean, it had been discussed.
And how long had it been since the last
chapter?
Yeah,
several months.
Like, okay, just several months.
Maybe last chapter came out sometime last year, I think.
Oh, okay,
or early this year.
Because when you talked about it before, I got the impression, just from what you were saying, that he was like on some like fucking Game of Thrones shit.
What do you mean?
Like Game of Thrones has been like fucking years since the last book.
Well, it's kind of, because sometimes there's a whole year where he released one chapter of 23 pages.
Because you were like,
and in some years there's more.
So you were like, if he'd stop fucking playing video games and get his ass to work, is what I think something along the lines.
Yes, I mean, but it's true. Like he kept going on hiatus. Everyone knows he's an idle games fan, and he just didn't do the work.
So how much material is left to put in the anime from the manga?
Tons.
Okay,
Anime only covers one arc of many arcs.
I wonder how many people that.
But it might be like the most iconic and best arc. So
yeah.
But I think it's okay to. I think just let it die with him. Like, let it be his legacy. Don't let people fucking dirty that shit up. You know what I mean? Unless he has the... Because he actually, in the recent years, has apprentice, like, helping him do drawings and stuff. And, like, learn to draw in his style. And so, like, if they know what's supposed to happen, then go ahead. Otherwise, man. It's also, I feel like it's a good, decent stopping point. I mean, spoiler alert, if anyone doesn't know, right? The 2.5 for a couple minutes. So, this one person... like lost her fucking mind 20 years ago in the storyline, and like it's been his quest to like bring her back. And like early last year, like they brought her back kind of, but she's like fucked up. But she's kind of back.
It's like zombie Optimus Prime.
No, like she's super PTSD. Like she's been not herself for like 20. Well, in story time, several years. And like because something really bad happened to her that she lost her fucking mind. So she came back, but like every time she looks at him, like she fucking loses her shit. So like that's kind of unresolved. But she's back. Like that was a huge moment. And also the very last line I believe Guts said was, "There's not much to do around this place other than just mill around and train." There's like a lot more to do in the world that he won. I think he's at a crossroad where like, should I just mind my own business or like basically go try and fight a god. So the last line he said was like, man, it's like kind of boring here. It's kind of peaceful. And I'm like, that's not the fucking worst place for him to just stop.
Yeah.
Like,
does he own the rights to everything? The
I would
artist?
assume. That's why there's like nothing done with.
Right.
Like,
He had no deadlines.
No one pressured him to draw more or write more.
Yeah.
There's unresolved plot points, but they're like so far out there that like it's fine.
I know we'll go back to the art conversation for a minute. I think ultimately, if you, as an artist, can make a living, a comfortable living, and can put out art when you want, and people still want it, I think that's the
amazing.
pinnacle. Of
Yeah, that's the goal.
A living artist, I'll say.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think he ever commercialized shit. You know, I think there's not a panel in there that was like he was phoning at home. Mm-hmm. There's like 3,000 lines per fucking picture that he draws or some bullshit like that. But yeah, there's a reason why it's like legendary or like classic. But like now it's real classic because he died.
And what did he die of?
Something I don't know. It was sudden. I don't know, it's an aneurysm, something like that. Something busted inside of him and he fucking died. You never know. I mean, he wasn't young, but he wasn't old by any means.
Right.
I watched like Resident Evil 8 playthrough like 3 times now by 3 different people. One of them being my friend. Like I really like that game.
Is that The Village?
The Village, yeah.
It looks like it'd be fun.
It's fun. It's fun to watch. Like that's another thing about me not being a gamer at heart. Still, like even though I don't play games, I watch a lot of gameplay.
See, I would never.
Yeah,
I would never.
My kids do that. Like
I think
my kids do it too. For sure.
I think it's a generational thing too.
But I think Charlie's trying to figure out how to do stuff sometimes. Like when you watch these walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't the effort to play a game versus having it on background because I enjoy these games. I want to know and especially story wise, I want to know what the story is. So like I just have it on in the background, and I like.
See, I'll punish myself. You don't get to know. You don't get to know until you play.
You didn't earn it.
You'll never know what happens in Coruscant Night. No one's gonna ever.
That's right.
Yes, I am. 5 years. 4 now.
I finally caught up on Rick and Morty. The last season came out a while ago, I think. But
Yeah,
I just remembered
yeah.
it, and I binged the last season. Still love it. So I think it's still.
I've never watched all of it, but the ones I've watched, I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah, and it is an overarching storyline.
I can't get into it.
I know.
It's a Sonic thing. It's totally a Sonic thing. I just find it irritating to listen to.
It can be. Like I'm not denying that.
Yeah, it's like it's the voices. It's like the cadence of the way I've never encountered such a thing where it's like. Like, cause I can, like, when people tell me, like, Adam's a huge fan, and when he would tell me about it, I'd be like, damn, that's fucking smart. Like, that's a cool idea and shit. And then when you've talked about it, I'd be like, man, that's fucking funny or whatever. That's cool too. But then I sit down to watch it, I'm like, nope. Turn this off. It's like nails on a chalkboard. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
You should watch it in, like, Japanese and read subtitles. Pretend it's anime.
They'll probably go overboard too. I would do an impersonation of it, but then I'll be on Twitter.
But I'm assuming there's gonna be another season at some point, and I watched that too. I think it's it's a brilliant show, and there's actually a lot. Like lessons you can glean from it if you want to, or just watch it for the entertainment of it if you want to. I watched Love, Death plus Robot season 2.
Yeah,
because you watched that already.
Yep.
I think season 1 was better. It was had more interesting premises.
Yeah,
and was it more episodes too?
It seemed like there were. It
seemed like it was longer.
I think there were some longer episodes.
Oh, that's what
I think the longest one of these was. I'll be honest with you, I watched that and I don't even remember. I know I watched it, but like I have vivid memories of the first season.
Yes.
And this second season, like I can't even.
There's 2 that I remember.
I can't even really tell you what the hell was going on.
The one with the giant was interesting. The giant dead body.
Oh yeah,
that was
the rotting body.
Yeah, and it was just the guy narrating the whole process.
And then the one with Michael B. Jordan was good too.
Oh, yeah, it was really good. It was like it was really sci-fi, really nothing deep about it.
Yeah,
it's just a short story. Take it as face value, but it was really good.
Yeah,
and it was animated, amazing.
That was beautiful.
And like
it's like
Chris
PS7.
said the same thing at first. It's like, are they mixing real footage with fake?
It's hard to tell.
No, man, that's all fucking CG, bro.
It's hard to tell.
And the one that I want to talk about was the one with the kids, the Immortality Society. You're never gonna watch this, right? So there's one world where like they don't age. They like take injections or whatever, and they revert to younger self again. But you can't have kids. But people like in the Undercity, like it's like Jetsons.
Yeah.
It's really tall buildings and shit, and everyone's like partying and living the life up because they don't have fucking kids. Like me up there, and then like you fucks are like under the clouds.
Except you don't live the life. You just stream all day.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a huge party over there. You're like, I know, and I'm eating cake again.
Exactly. But one of the main characters, I think, is at that point.
Oh, gotcha.
He's just like
because shit's played out.
Like
the cop. You talking about the cop?
He has like a hot fucking girlfriend who is like an opera singer who's super famous, and like he's at a fucking party, and he's just like,
right.
And his job, I think the cop's job is to like find kids and kill them.
Yeah. That's his job,
like
to find the people who are
breaking the law.
Breaking the law,
breeders,
having children.
the breeders. Like he doesn't understand, why do you guys keep doing this? And so like he goes to the Undercity and finds and take the parents and then kill kids, and everyone's on board with it. Everyone else in the world seemed like it's on board with it other than him. But he started to like, I think he started to want to have a kid, and then he finds this lady who has a kid, and he doesn't kill her.
He sees her buying like milk or something.
It was toy store.
It was a toy store. That's right.
It was a collectible store for people who likes the old shit.
Right.
But he noticed this lady's buying a toy. He's like, nobody buys toys. Why are you buying a toy? And he followed her. Comes to find out she has, in somewhere in this deep in the city has a kid, and then
it's like a cabin in the woods under an overpass.
Yeah, and then he sat down and talked to her. He's like, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to understand why. And then like she explains the beauty of having children, and like he doesn't kill the kid, and he walks out. His partner was there, and then like he sees that she was about to go in and kill him, and they shoot each other and both die. But like the thing is, for me, like again, it comes with the kids thing. For me, it's like, I know what they're trying to get at, but like it doesn't hit me the same way. For me, I'm just like, stop fucking having kids and they won't get shot.
Right.
And when the kids get shot, I don't blame the cop. I'm like, yeah, that's what you get for having kids. You made a kid just so they can get shot. Go fuck yourself.
No, I think you're right about that. But I think that the message is there is that, even with all of the tropes of life, right? Like the den of sin, as it were, that you could have forever, that at some point you're going to want more. And I think even if let's say you could have kids, but you couldn't have a pet. If you lived for fucking hundreds and hundreds of years doing the same shit all the time, you'd be like, I just want to fucking pet a fucking dog.
Yeah.
I think that's it's a human nature thing almost, is like, it doesn't matter what you have all of the excess of, it's always going to be the apple that you want from that tree.
Right. Yeah. And being in an immortal state, you're right. How bored would you get?
Nobody else was, though. Only that guy. His girlfriend was like, you're boring. What are you doing?
Well, no, because they were killing other kids, right?
Yeah, like other people were killing kids too, and they were fine.
But what I'm saying is that, like, so it wasn't just that, there was a bunch of people.
Yeah, there was people who were trying to have kids. Yeah, that doesn't want to be part of this society. But I'm just saying, like, it says something about me being reflexive and my emotions. Usually I have knee-jerk reactions, and I analyze myself. And I'm like, that is my knee-jerk reaction. It's like, fuck the kids.
Well, no, that's not what you're saying. That's not what you're saying at all.
No, I'm saying like the kid should get shot.
Yeah, but you're not saying fuck the kids. You're saying fuck the parents.
Yeah.
That's what
it's
you're
not
saying.
the kid's fault.
You're accepting the punishment for the parents' poor decision.
Yes.
Which like that's very different than saying fuck the kids though, because it's not like you don't have. It's not like you don't have sympathy for the kids. You're saying that you are such a piece of shit for putting these kids at risk that you deserve the consequences.
Right, but the kids doesn't. I guess morally speaking, they shouldn't get shot. But like for me, I'm like, yeah, shoot them.
Right, but because you're so upset at the decision, you know what I mean? You're not. It's not that you're upset with the kids. You're like,
No, I'm not upset with the
right.
kids.
So you're like,
But I
you're
also don't feel
just
bad
so
enough for them
upset.
to tell them to live. I think most people want to save the children
because your anger for the parents outweighs anything else.
Yeah,
You know, so it's really fuck the parents is what you're saying.
yeah. And just my anger will, dude. Am I Anakin?
There was some meme I saw recently. Hold on one second, because it was worth taking a look at. Oh, it was when she says she uses OnlyFans, but there's an AC unit at her house, and it has Anakin going, liar!
I get it.
Greg from Mercy sent me that.
Fucking Anakin. Chris's birthday was yesterday. She turned 33.
33.
Yep. Yeah, I picked them young for a reason. So like they stay younger than me. I'm like almost 40. Like when we met, she just turned 20, and I was 26.
I think you look younger than her.
I have.
She's got that half white in her.
The half white. She got to use that makeup to cover the whiteness.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
But yeah, and so it was Memorial Day yesterday. So we like streamed all day and had a 10,000 calorie challenge day where we, she would have never made it, and she never does. This is the second time we've done it, and we try to eat 10,000 calories in a day, which for most people is crazy.
Right.
But for me, it's fine. Like I was full. I was like really overly full by the end of the day, but it's fine. And all the proceeds from the day went to charity.
That's awesome.
Because it's Memorial Day. Like, you don't have to celebrate things, because I don't celebrate a lot of things, right? But I feel a way when people take something and I guess exploit it or bring attention to themselves. A lot of people are like, oh, watch me do this for Memorial Day. I'm like, what are you doing though? You just bring attention to yourself. What are you doing for Memorial Day? You can do your own thing and not celebrate Memorial Day, but don't fucking bring that shit in there so you get more eyes on you, you selfish prick. That's how I feel about it.
I'm going to ask you how you feel about me. I used a coupon from a Memorial Day sale yesterday.
I was going to ask, how do you feel about 50% off?
That?
I think that's fine.
How about is it cool to buy a mattress half price because it's Memorial
Honestly,
Day?
yeah. That's not on you. That's on the seller.
I know.
Right?
I'm just being ridiculous.
I know, but like, because I do think about stuff like, because Twitch has a hot tubs, bathtub,
I just saw
beach
that
and thing, right? So like, people keep hating on the streamers, the mostly chicks, right, who are in bikinis and like.
Are there any like hairy dudes in them?
There's some. There's one, dude.
I want to see a
My
hairy
favorite one
dude
is one that's just on otters. There's like
otters.
Like, I have it on the background. It's like a zoo or preserve or something, and they just have the camera pointing.
You
at
watch that a lot. You ought to know better. Damn it! I'm a little bit fumbled.
You
You otter. It's hard to say. You oughter know better.
I fucking love otters, man. They're like
They're pretty cute.
But I don't. In blow up. So these ladies in blow up pools, obviously looking extra sexy for the views and the monies and stuff, right?
Sure.
And people keep shitting on them. It's like, oh, your content sucks. I'm like,
then don't watch it.
Exactly. First of all, don't watch it. Second of all, don't blame the supply. Blame demand.
Right.
Like, it's all the fucking thousands of people watching that allows this to happen. Like, like, go get your fucking bread. Make your money. Like I always say, like, legalize prostitution. I don't care. Like, if somebody wants your shit and you got it to sell, make your money. No shame.
I agree. People like it. I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like shitty music. Like, it's like you can't say it's something that's super commercialized isn't bad. I mean, isn't good. Yeah. Because it's really like a lot of people like it. So it's like, you can have your opinion about it, but you can't make some sort of like generally sweeping. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, don't tell them to stop making the music when they're have millions and millions of people buying it.
Why would they?
You know what they needed? Those unfortunate people who are dealing with this hot tub crisis. They just have to say that it's art.
Yeah, hot tub crisis.
Hot tub crisis. But there are the thing is, when I see especially when some of my female friends see some male streamers talking shit about these ladies, and I'm like, it's like out of jealousy at heart. Like they shouldn't be watching this bad content. They should be watching me. It's the vibe you get. But like, bro, these aren't the people who would come to your goddamn stream anyway. They wouldn't have come to see your shit.
Right. There was a fuck, man. I had something on the tip of my tongue, but then you distracted me with that because like there have been like, there's reviewers out there that just show their tits and they're gonna do bigger numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and like it doesn't matter. Like but like I've never felt a way about it because that's not like they're not there for the audience isn't there for the toys.
Right.
It could be anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're there for the tits, and that's what she has. So.
Right, grow some tits.
Yeah, if I want to grow some tits, then I can complain.
Yep. And there's hypocrisy in there too, because a lot of us stream shirtless, men on fitness stream shirtless, right? I know what it's for. I wouldn't normally stream shirtless. It's for the audience. You get audience that way. So how are you going to be shirtless working out on a stream and then complain about a lady in bikini on a stream?
Yeah, that's dumb.
I understand human nature and reaction, but I think everyone should like really analyze their own decisions and thought processes. It would make the world a little bit better. Anyway, I'm still super into D&D. We're like squeezing in bonus sessions now, like just because we're so into it and drawing. That's now my main time. Like I can only do one hobby at a time. I haven't touched my 40K. I don't love it any less. It's just I only have time to do one fucking thing.
I was afraid that would happen to me with this video game thing, but I've like purposefully, like I went down the shop on Saturday. I had an idea for something I just wanted to build to see what it looked like.
Oh, for yourself. It wasn't for work.
It may end up being something that we produce, but I had to get it out of my head. So I designed it and went down, cut it, and put it together, and like this kind of works. I see what I need to tweak. And I opened a couple figures this weekend. And then I played video games, I don't know.
You can split your time.
I'm trying to split the time up because purposefully, like I think a lot about that Cyberpunk. I'm like, I should do this instead of that. And if I do,
the thing is, like, do you think that if you didn't have money tied into your hobby, like, involved in diorama making, do you think you would still spend the same amount of time into it, same amount of effort and mental energy?
I don't know, because the equipment I have that makes it easy to do stuff I wouldn't have if it wasn't a business. Right. So maybe
I know I'm at capacity. Like I know I'm at my capacity. So anytime I do something, something has to be sacrificed. So
time wise,
correct. So like right now I'm drawing
course on nights. You got to
4 years.
5 minutes a day, Bobby.
So even if I do, if I'm doing this drawing now for this commission, so. My diorama work has stopped because I can't do both. And if I move on to something else like a video game or something, then my drawing will have to stop. And you know what I mean? Like I'm just at that point where
it's only one.
There's nothing else. There's nothing else I can figure out a way to cram in, so to speak.
Because a lot of this stuff takes time too. Right? It's not like you can draw for 5 minutes.
That's what it is.
Or do diorama for 5 minutes and then do something else.
Well, at least the drawing is portable, so no matter where you are,
helps. That helps a lot.
Whip it out,
so to speak.
Oh yeah, I think Chris is buying a second iPad because
you had mentioned it.
Yeah,
dude, you guys are fighting over the iPad.
Not fighting over it, but like there's definitely times where we could both use it, but neither one of us is like, let me have it. I have a feel about it, but that's about it. That's all I got.
Gotcha. I need to loop back around one more. So we had an unfortunate incident happen in the shop. No one was hurt.
That's good.
Our well equipment is down in the shop, as you all have seen. And,
yes.
And my wife was doing some maintenance on the well, like she does, and there was a hose pipe that. I'm not exactly sure what happened. Long story short, the hose pipe did the crazy snake thing.
Oh shit!
And water got everywhere, and we lost it. We lost one of our beloved 10-year-old laptops that we used to run the equipment. I tried.
Data?
Well, there was nothing on. It was Mason's computer he had since like the 6th grade.
Is it the one I was using for the laser cutting?
No, that's like my personal computer. No, it's a very old computer, and literally all it has to do is run this web-based software.
Oh, it's web-based, so like you didn't lose any.
No,
there
was nothing saved. It's all in the cloud waiting to crash. So we went on a Kelly felt super bad about it. I was like, don't worry about it. I tried the whole opening it up, drying it off, and it was gone. I mean, so she goes on Marketplace and finds this
Facebook Marketplace?
Facebook Marketplace finds like an all-in-one computer for like $100. I'm like, what do you mean? So it's just the monitor, and then the keyboard and mouse.
Yep.
Well, she
Like
goes,
a Mac, like a
for $100. She goes and gets it, and it's like brand freaking new. And she's like, "This is too nice. You're not getting this." So it ends up like we have a computer downstairs just for her shipping station now, a dedicated computer. And then she buys a refurbished Toshiba laptop off of eBay for like $150. And it's like, I don't even want to. This, it's nice. It's clean. I'm like, whatever. Here, clonk. Put it where it goes. So try to close the screen when you're not using it. Maybe we'll keep it a little cleaner.
Wow.
But I just thought it was like, damn, $100 for these working computers.
It used to be a couple $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I spent a whole day watching this Instagram account called Moon Tell That.
Oh my god.
What is it?
Moon Tell That.
Okay.
So this guy has married a Vietnamese woman
Okay.
and lives with her and
He's
her.
not Vietnamese, I assume.
Correct. Lives with her and her father. And
He lives with them or they live with him?
oh, I guess that's true. So I get the impression that the two of them have a house together, and her father lives with them.
Normal.
And I don't know how much of this is put on and how much of it isn't. But it doesn't change the fact that it's fucking funny as shit.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna play one.
Oh god.
For a second, close your eyes, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Don't move. What is this on your nose?
Your brain and your body not matching at all, Tico. Considerably. Your brain go down like that, and your body look like the cheeseburger style.
Cheeseburger style.
You don't know how stupid you are looking in your eye right now.
For a second, close your
I'm gonna play one more. The mangoes.
Oh god.
So like she's cutting up these mangoes, and she says she's cutting up for the mangoes for her father. Her father's a mango man. Here we go.
Let me hit that because you go fish.
This my father, Tico. I come from my father. He's a mango man.
He's not a mango man, honey.
Don't talk loud. I'm a mango man. She went low. Mango man. Mango.
What? I mean,
So I followed this account as well, and it is. I haven't dug in yet, but I'm looking forward to spending hours laughing at other
so
people.
fucking funny, man. But like it is like the more you watch her Moon, there's something like super endearing about her. Like
It's her teeth?
so, there's something weird about that. But like if once you get down into some of them, or you like get the like he'll just like be videoing her like doing something, and it's like it's almost like she's a child, like in a way, like she's like this childhood fascination with like little things and stuff. That's like I was like, man, like what a beautiful thing to see in a human being. But anyway, so I've been watching a lot of Moon Tell That.
I mean, there's a lot. I've seen stuff over the years. Are you guys familiar with the Tourette's guy that was on YouTube? Well, I won't go into detail. Anyone who wants to look it up can, but I don't know how that would play in 2021. But you know, there was a lot of speculation. Like, is this real? Could this be? And this was like, you know, it was on YouTube, but it wasn't like there were these deep Reddit forums at that point about shit. So it was like, is this dude for real? Because it's just so ridiculous.
It's over the top.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's so funny. Like he comes out, he's been working in the yard and his shirt's just soaking wet. And his kid, or whoever it is that films it says, I think it's his kids, "Hey dad, you got a Mickey Mouse shirt." It's like, what are you talking about? Because he's got like two stains on his, you know, chest and then a big one on his belly. He's like, "That's not Mickey Mouse, that's tit dirt."
Jesus.
Oh, that's the whole thing.
Right. So another thing I did this, I would imagine maybe we all have, but I went into a store without a mask.
Yeah.
Man,
So like,
it's hard for me to do. Like I did
it's
yesterday
so
for the first time.
Fascinating. Like it's just like, dude, the social experiment of all this shit. Of just like,
Did I send you that TikTok of the guy putting the mask back and forth on?
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
or maybe did.
Yeah. It was on a group chat.
Yeah, I just didn't get a chance to watch it. Yeah, but
It's
The guy with the beard, right?
no, it's like an Indian guy.
Yeah. I thought he had a beard.
Oh, maybe he does. I don't know.
maybe I did watch it. I don't know.
It's super funny because he's like back and forth.
Yeah, I think I did see it. But it's just interesting to see like like in the beginning when you were wearing masks and people like, you know, be all irritated, huffing and puffing, pulling it down, you know, and then it kind of leveled out and most people were kind of wearing them properly and everything. And now I got my mask off and now people are looking at me for you know what I mean?
Man.
It's like the tables have turned.
So
It's this transition period.
what sort of, did you go on like a big,
Plenty. I went to Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
I went
You
to
did
the
the
mall.
full- you did
went
the
to-
full lap
to-
without
yeah,
that
yeah. There are still some places that require them.
My work does, and like, oh, anyway.
Yeah.
The guy came in like without a mask and was just fucking ranting how it's not constitutional, and
I keep one in my pocket just
and
because
like,
I never know.
yeah, I'm like, and I'm at work. You know, when you work, you're a fucking captive audience, and you can't really say what you want.
Right.
That's a retail work, and this guy was just going off with like fucking libtards and fucking.
Did I tell you guys about this was right? It was before any mask, before the CDC changed their minds about the encounter I had with the unmasked man in Walmart. Did I tell you guys? I don't. My time's fucked up.
No. But having an encounter with the unmasked man sounds wild.
Yeah, not a masked man.
So it was Mason and I are at the Mount Airy Walmart and buying stuff, and there's this older guy who's, I would guess he's in his 70s.
Mm-hmm.
He had on the suspenders with the tape measure lines on them. You know,
yes,
you see the
yes,
vibe,
yes,
and he has on a hat. I was so amazed that he didn't have a mask on. I didn't notice, but Mason told me he had on a baseball cap, and it had like a taped on sign that said something, "The Lord will protect me from everything," or something like that. Well, ended up getting in. He was behind me in the checkout line. So I got our stuff and was leaving. I turned around and I looked at him and said, "Sir, I just want to let you know how brave I think you are for not wearing a mask. Just so brave, sir." And I said it like super loud. And he was like, "Well, I appreciate that."
Yeah.
He totally didn't get that. I was like,
Of course not.
But like I'm like, you know, I'm rolling with the punches. Like I'm following the rules. If I go to a place and it says mask on, I got my gaiter. Like I'll pull the gaiter up, and it's a 2-ply gaiter, so it's not the other kind. Well, because like the double material is actually what makes it protective. If you have a single material gaiter, it actually like aerosolizes your fucking.
Yeah, it's like makes them.
So it's worse. Atomizes. It's worse. So like. I have my gaiter and shit, so I'll wear it. But like, I'm also like, if I went into a Weas of all places, and I'm walking through the Weas, and I'm coming up. I'm just buying a little thing of peanut butter. Just want a little, a little peanut butter.
Name brand.
Jif.
Yep.
Not Peter Pan.
Not Peter Pan.
Pound Peter Pan.
Even though I'm on the mango man, even though picky people pick Peter Pan peanut butter is the peanut butter picky people pick, I tend to go with Jif.
I'm too foreign for that.
I walked up to the register and scanned it, and I hear, like, you know how they always have, like, I do the self checkout sometimes when I'm in a rush. I try not to, but when I'm in a rush, I do. And I saw these two people that are like the helpers, if like you're, you know what I mean, and they were like, "He's the first one today. He doesn't have a mask on. He doesn't have a mask on. That's the first one we've seen today." Like, you know, and I'm like, fuck, man, like. Just people are so fucking fascinating to me. Like the human race, like the human condition is just so fucking fascinating.
I mean,
It's all predictable.
and I will say, like, overall, Maryland, from what I've seen, has done a good job with masks.
I think we did a good job.
I when it was like mandatory heavy COVID, I can think of maybe twice. It was always at a home improvement store too.
But I mean, like, it doesn't. At this transition period, like, I save it to wear one than not wear one.
It definitely is.
Not as a, you know, as in the virus, but as in like socially. And just you would cause less problem by just having one on. And I'm telling you, I'm never not wearing a mask at work ever again. Ever.
Well, I get that
because I have the excuse to, and not because of contagion that I'm worried about. It's because I never ever want to have to fucking make a fake face at another person ever again.
Right. And then you can
never
also
want to
just
have to fucking smile.
Probably,
Well,
I doubt people will talk to you as much either.
That too.
Well, I was telling Chris yesterday, like, I'll probably always have one at my work now too. Like, just not to say I always wear one, but I'll have it with me because, like, first of all, I didn't get sick at all last year aside from COVID.
Yeah.
You know,
The flu was like not very mild.
because
this
everybody's
year.
washing their hands and masked up.
Right. And get vaccines. People are like, you know, people getting the flu vaccine like nobody's business this year.
So the other thing is that I've noticed that, like, sometimes I have to mop in very stinky environments. Not really a problem with a mask.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit of a problem, but not like it used to be. I mean, sometimes some of these places that were, you know, because they call on us to clean it, right?
Yep.
It had to be dirty, Bob.
Oh, filth. So, like, you know, I mean, we call it the Vicks mustache. and just put Vicks underneath
Oh,
our
yeah, yeah.
nose. You know, like
the Hitler Vicks.
Wait, don't do that.
You ever use Tiger Balm?
No.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a
shit.
whole. You know what
Yeah,
Tiger
that-
Balm is,
Dude, that's my people.
Yeah.
Tiger Balm is my people.
Back when I used to wrestle, a lot of the old timers would always do that before they went out, just so it clears your passages, so you can not choke and die in the ring.
So I have some other notes in here, but I didn't really do much. I watched some more Pinkerton.
You watched Pinkerton?
Pilkington, Carl
Oh, yeah.
Pilkington.
What you mean you've been watching? How'd you get the feed?
And I watched.
You're not on the Patreon.
And I watched. I don't know. I'm not really in a Bad Batch. I haven't really. I'm going to ask you guys a question about Disney shows here in a second, but I just want to give you some of the notes because I don't know what they mean. I write these notes down. I'm like, yeah, this will. No,
It's like copying answers on the test.
yeah. Hard to imagine how hormones take this shit.
How much did you drink the past couple weeks?
No clue.
You wrote it, motherfucker.
Yep, no idea what that means. In a store without a mask,
There we go.
Zeus and Hera. Sweet Home Alabama, sister and wife of Zeus.
What were you on?
It's probably just so I probably saw something or read something or something like hit my front lobe about Hera being the wife and sister of Zeus, and then I was like, make a Sweet Home Alabama joke. It's probably what happened there. But no clue.
I'm willing to go along with that.
And when we sat down to watch Bad Batch, the baby said, "Oh yeah, I forget about this show."
Well, that's just how I think we feel about it right now, right?
Yeah.
The only reason I remember it is because, like, on a suggested thing to watch. Because
Right.
on the PlayStation, when it pulls suggest things to watch from every fucking app you have.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys to put these in order from best to worst.
From best to worst.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Clone Wars,
Okay.
the last season.
The last
season.
That's
the
a
last
lot.
season.
The last,
Just the
so
last
two
season.
story arcs, right?
It's 3.
There's just 2. It's the Bad Batch and Ahsoka. That's the only 2 story
No, then
arcs.
and then there's the Mandalorian. There's the okay, but there's 2 Ahsoka arcs. There's Ahsoka with the girls.
Yeah, but it's kind of all the
Okay,
same
fair
story.
enough.
I'm counting that
Yep,
as one.
I'm good with you.
Okay.
So that last season of Clone Wars, Mandalorian, Bad Batch, Scarlet Witch or WandaVision, and Falcon Winter Soldier.
So all the streaming.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I
I haven't watched Bad Batch from the bottom.
Right.
yeah. I mean, I can't judge Bad Batch till it's over. It may be the best thing ever by the time it's done, but I don't have a lot of faith. My favorite out of that is The Mandalorian. I'll go Mandalorian first.
Okay. Here, while you think, let me run mine on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clone Wars is first for me, followed by Falcon Winter Soldier, followed by WandaVision, followed by Mandalorian, followed by Bad Batch. So far, that's my top 5. That's in order for me, in terms of what
This
I
is hard because, like, some of them I like a lot, and it's hard to put one in front of
a lot.
It makes me happy.
I'm gonna have to write this down, or I'm never gonna get it right.
I think Falcon Winter Soldier is my favorite, and then Clone Wars, and then WandaVision.
So I'm gonna go Mando,
And
Scarlet
then
Witch, Winter Soldier, Clone Wars, Bad Batch.
Copy that.
And it's nothing against the Clone Wars. I just like the
Just
live
like those
action
better.
stuff better.
Yeah, this is like comparing the best of the best,
Right, for the top 3
except for
me, anyway.
the other 2.
But so, do you remember Safety and Doorknob?
Yeah, dude.
What?
Dude.
What is this?
Dude, I went to a military boarding school. You get beat the fuck out of if you don't play that game.
What is this?
It made me think. Something you said made me think about. You said something, and then it made me think about the word "excuse me." And then in my head, just because I'm a fucking insane person, I was like, man, I wonder if our generation is the generation that killed off saying "excuse me" after you fart. Like, I feel like I heard my parents say it. But like, I don't feel like I hear anybody from our generation ever say it.
No, you either hold it or you're the person who let it out like me and just be like, fuck it.
Yeah, or you try to
make-
sneak it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but you don't hear anybody from our generation say "excuse me." And then it got me to thinking about. I remember that time where like there was a game that we played. Like
It's-
you would fart and you had to say "safety"
Immediately.
right after you farted. If you didn't, another person could say doorknob, and then everybody
shit out
could
of
fight you until you touch the doorknob.
I've never heard of this in my life. Y'all lived in a different world.
And it's not a Maryland thing because I went to military boarding school in Virginia, and there was
Maybe it was a DMV thing.
maybe we brought it to that school, and then
Please, if you were tortured with this horrible game as a child,
I mean,
please,
it teaches you.
please tell an adult, and then tell us also somehow.
He's telling an adult.
And then find your mom, bless her heart, and say, "Mama, I used to get beat up for farting on doorknobs."
Dude, it teaches you something though. It teaches you to like either hold your fart in or let everybody know you farted, and then be immune to it. Like I think that's the way to go, instead of like farting secretly and then nobody knows.
Secret farter.
Dude, doorknob fucking sucked. If you didn't, because people just start wailing on you until you get to a doorknob. And it depends on where you are. You're not gonna get to a doorknob very easily.
I'd have to seat myself accordingly.
Yeah.
It's just like, do people still like kids beat the fuck out of each other on the birthdays? Is that still a thing?
No, I don't think kids are touching each other much. Yeah,
Dude, like
And
it was
one to
rough.
grow on.
and one to grow
dude.
on.
The next day, people's arms are like fucked, like black and blue. I remember having black and blue arm for like several days after my birthday.
Yeah. I mean, that's where they would get you. It was always the arm.
And it's everybody.
It was
everybody
like
gets.
That was like getting the flu shot.
Everybody gets to sock you 10 to 15 times.
You get it once a year. It hurts for a day. So we do have a couple notes. So my first note was, how does Joe feel in regard to the
Berserk?
Yeah, so we got that covered.
Statue's coming.
Yeah. This Transformers Cyberverse movies are coming to Netflix.
I don't even know what a Cyberverse
movies?
movie is. I think isn't the Cyberverse like the Super Kitty stuff they sell?
I don't know.
Because there's a
Keep
there's a line at retail that's like, I'm pretty sure that's it. It's the Cyberverse, and it's
I remember
they've got all the
Unicron trilogy. That was a thing.
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know if that spun off from the main. There's a main show going on right now, right? 3D show.
Yeah, but
Earthrise, whatever?
it's based on the current toy line. Yeah, but there's a secondary toy line that's not on our
Like the
our
current,
because it's
like,
literally for children.
Rescue Patrol, whatever.
It's not Rescue Bots,
but like same.
it's a little bit. I don't even know.
Does it take
what
the place of Rescue Bot for like a kid show?
I guess I
They're
don't
calling
know.
it season 4 though. They say AKA season 4. I don't know. Other than the premiere date of November 21st, it is interesting to note that Hasbro is partnering up with Netflix even more with the War for Cybertron and the Unnamed Future series debuting in streaming giant. Hasbro is also switching the Power Rangers series and the My Little Pony movies over to Netflix as well.
Oh, nice.
So there you go. I don't know. I mean, I'll keep an eye out, I guess. The fucking Amazon bought MGM.
Yep.
It's just funny, man. It's funny to see, like, I think the ramifications for the next couple of years, how streaming services become more powerful than, movie making facilities or studios in the past.
I mean, because they'll be making movies on streaming services,
Right.
Like,
but
triple A movies, not in the theater.
Right, but I think it was more profitable. I think at one time it was more profitable to have a studio that produced films for cinema, and and now it may not be the case anymore.
Right.
It may have changed. And then we have
I mean, it all comes down to how much a stream is worth.
dude, I'm gonna kill you.
Like, this is our conversation.
How much is a stream worth for a faceless character, Joe?
Yeah.
just as much.
Mind blown.
Just as much as one with a face. The studio would make more money without having to pay for a face. I'll tell you that.
Yes, but there has to be some sort of licensing with it, right? Like it's almost like you would have to license your face.
It's like VTubers, right? Like if you create a fake person to begin with,
and
and that fake person becomes incredibly popular, like Miku, then your studio's good to go because you have an immortal character forever.
Yeah.
that
I
you
know.
own.
I know what character I would create. The Mango Man.
Does he get superpowers when he eats the mango?
Yes, of course. It's like Popeye and spinach.
But it has to get brought from his daughter?
Yes.
That's the only bit.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You all seen those AI programs that generate human faces, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, you look at these pictures, like, yeah, they're people, but like those people never existed. An AI generated the human face. So it can be like that. So we don't need faces anymore, Pinkerton.
Shut up, Joe.
I wasn't.
And this is our arts discussion.
This is our we all yeah. This is stream. It's
So you were talking about the Snyder movie earlier, the zombie one, and
Yeah.
there's talk now of a lot of the people that were involved in that movie with the girls in it, Sucker Punch.
Okay.
That a lot of those actresses have come forward, like, look, there's a better cut of this too. And I was going to ask, like, what do you got with? Because like what do you guys think of Sucker Punch? Let's just have that conversation for a second.
I guess I've seen it. It's nothing I cherish. I don't have fan fiction on the Tumblr or anything. It's fine. I thought it was overly sexualized to an extent.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen such a thing, but continue.
Well, you know what I mean.
I think it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, it obviously was. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was the whole vibe.
For me, it's one of those things where it's like, I think everything about it is cool,
Is it
except
on
for the caliber of story that
Is
it
it
actually
on HBO
is.
Max, maybe?
Maybe.
That's like, I think it was a wasted opportunity. It could have been something more. So that's why I'm interested in this cut, because like,
me too.
The baseline story, like the ending twist
Yeah,
and stuff,
it's
is interesting.
cool.
All of the individual like short story kind of action scenes
Yes.
were interesting, but they amounted to nothing.
Yes, the way it all blended together
Yeah.
is kind of meaningless.
Like it had like good ingredients and they cooked
yes,
it
yes. I feel the same way. So I would be interested in. I think this is one of those wishful thinking things for them.
Yeah.
But I would be interested in seeing it. I would be interested in playing around in that world a bit more.
Yeah.
Shorter skirts is all I ask, Chris.
There you go.
Can it get any shorter?
Marvel Legends just had some news this past week.
You're a fucking MODOK, man. God damn. I scrolled by that on Instagram. I fucking laughed out loud.
So, y'all check out that show?
I saw like some clips
I didn't
of
even
it.
know it was out.
It's on Hulu. Yeah,
I saw some clips of it.
It looks like it should be on Adult Swim from
Right,
what I've
right,
seen,
right.
and I haven't checked it out. I might watch it one day just to see what's.
It looks like if you're into that style, you have some fun. But I'm like, this is mentally ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Marvel Legends.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that the Morlock. They have a Morlock figure coming. Of Callisto.
Yeah.
Callisto.
A lot of people were just like, they're gonna make that character.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm waiting for the paper thin person though. They just have a fucking construction paper in there.
That should be the accessory for her.
Oh yeah, it just
The piece of
stand
paper.
with a little stand.
Yes. Then there was a the
What's
other
the
thing.
person's name? I feel like we should know that. Everyone knows that paper.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's a Megan. They teased a Megan.
Yes,
That's fucking nuts. That's
From
one of those.
behind.
That's one of those characters I thought we'd never get. Just because it's just like it's so obscure and there's like nothing like special about it. It's like just a green bathing suit with some wings on your feet, and like that's it.
I mean, you get to that point, right?
so I mean
Yeah,
they're
Probably when you
getting
get-
in the weeds here.
Yeah.
If you have 5,000 characters and you've already released 4,500, it's like,
But I'm super excited. Like that'll finish. That'll be very close to finishing off my Excalibur.
I mean, it's like the fucking wrestling figures. Joe Schmo's getting figured
Yeah.
now.
So speaking of wrestling figures, I wanted
Pito Schnickens.
I didn't finish that just real quick. So they did a whole like fan fest weekend. You could go down there and get autographs, and they did a good job. I think even with the looser regulations, they still had screens up. You could take pictures with guys behind the screens and stuff. But they had pretty much every figure they had put out so far, and then a lot of reveals on display in DTOFs.
Oh wow!
But it was a 360 thing,
Right.
So they had a figure facing it each way. It actually kind of worked,
Right. I can. Believe
And then they had all their title belts. They had them in DTOFs too. I'm like, man, somebody went to IKEA and balled out because it was an outdoor event,
Right.
And I don't know. I'm like, come on, there's really nice display cases you could have used for this, but
Yeah.
DTOFs work too.
yeah, it's
But-
$50.
But I am like they're holding back a lot of Marvel Legends because like all we've seen reveal wise is pretty much movie stuff or show stuff. We haven't but we keep getting these little glimpses of things like this Domino and Cannonball and this Callisto and Megan, and then there was another one
Are there
too.
CR people out?
Who?
The
The
bird
Shang-Chi?
people. No, the space people that Professor X talked to. I think.
Oh.
What,
no, they're not like Lalandra.
Yeah.
No. I don't think so.
They
The Starjammers.
Exactly, the Starjammers.
Yeah,
Cyclops'
yeah.
dad.
Yeah, none of them. They haven't done any of them.
So they've changed.
Wow, like they're lower tier than this Megan.
Yeah.
They've
They're
changed
just
their,
Megan. No
their,
name, no special name, just Megan.
I don't know if you want to say their path to market or their creative process where they just basically go from digital render to they're not really showing prototypes, although they did show one of the new figures prototypes because it had holes where the pinless pins go.
Yeah.
And then they went back and showed it.
That was at Tigra.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
Double jointed elbows.
It looks great. Mm-hmm. So they're just holding back a lot. Like I just wonder what's coming.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they're. I think it would be better suited if they would say, all right, here's the figures, pre-order, a month later, here they are. Not
I agree.
Pre-order, wait 6 months, a year.
They want to generate the buzz, I guess.
While we're on the Hasbro, and I might do a sit-down Saturday on this week, but there a price increase is coming.
Okay.
End of the year.
Most things are like a Black Series is going up $1. Vintage is going up $2. Helmets are going up $25. Marvel Legends are going up $1. G.I. Joe is going up $1. Power Rangers is going up $1. Transformers is going up $1, with the exception of Voyagers that are going up $5, Leaders that are going up $3, and Commanders that are going up $5. How do you feel about that?
It's fine. I mean, shit's got to happen.
I think they're earning it.
I'll
be honest with you. I think they're earning it.
Yeah,
I just
because the stuff is getting better. Right?
Yeah,
and also just like inflation.
Yeah, and it's still relatively inexpensive in compare.
Nothing's over $20, right? I mean, the regular size stuff, not the Voyagers or the Leader.
No, I think the deluxes are $20 now.
See, I don't know about that, man.
See,
because you know what it is? It's because deluxes used to be great for a great price.
they're like $12.
And then they were shitty for a good price.
At $15.
Right? And then they're raising the quality up, but then they're raising the price too. So it's still overpriced. They never match back up to the price to quality ratio.
See, but I feel like some of it, like that hot rod, I feel like
$30.
I know, but
it was worth it though.
But
compared to that $10 between the Blur, for example, to the hot rod is well worth. That's definitely $10 worth.
But if you compare it to another $30 figure,
I don't know. But I think if it was $20, if that hot rod was $20, that would be perfect.
Yeah, the bang for the buck.
Well, so if they could do that, if they did that for $20, then I would love to see what the cup would look like with the hot rod engineering at $20.
That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
But I'm actually not even mad at cup for $20. I think it's a decent $20
It
figure.
is, but what would it have been for $30?
Right. Now that Cyclonus at $30, I think that's perfect. Like I think it's a perfectly priced. It's a bigger figure, bigger class, and they're doing a pretty good job with it.
That one is that one better than hot rod?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's better because I think it's more appropriately priced. That's my thing. It's like it's a bigger figure. There's more.
Let's take price out of the equation.
But
price out of the equation.
We're talking about price right now.
Yeah,
this is what we're talking
price
about.
Out of the equation is hard because I would say that they're probably pretty equal.
Okay,
but the fact that I think,
but they're obviously a step above the $20 figure.
No, they're obviously a step above what they used to do at $20.
I think was Cyclonus a $30 figure?
Yes,
I didn't realize that
because that's a Voyager.
Okay.
But that's where I think the Voyager should be 30. I think and I think where they're going with that. I think for the most part, it's looking good for them. I think the GI Joes are fucking great. The fucking Legends are great. The fucking Star Wars shit is great. It's like they're not at the import price level.
Yes.
Nor are they at the import price quality.
Yeah.
But I think at a $20 to $30. I think it's bang for your buck wise, it's unmatchable.
Right. Is a Mafex $100 Boba Fett that much better than this latest Boba Fett they put out for $25 or whatever, the deluxe 130?
I remember at a point in time I would be like, man, I might troop build some SHF, whatever, stormtroopers or whatever the fuck. Now I would definitely go with Hasbro.
Especially since they redesigned that.
Yeah, it's a no brainer. It's just I think that with growth comes cost.
Yes,
and I think it's a worthwhile one.
I mean, that's why the only caveat was the Transformers line.
Right.
Everything else, I get it.
But I think they've even. I think they're on their way
to earning that.
Especially after watching your Devastator review this week.
Jesus Christ!
I was telling Bobby my favorite part in there. He gets it all together and it kind of just falls back, and then he takes his pregnant pause and then says, "Let's clean it up." It's just perfect. All the frustration, you can feel the tension building.
It was such a labor-intensive review. I got the Constructicons coming. Well, by the time this goes out, it'll come the day before. But
I hope it's worth it, Paul.
Yeah, it won't be. See, that'd be an interesting. That would be. I just don't know how much people want to see that type of shit or
Well, how old that thing's? Is that new?
I think
or
relatively
relatively new.
but all of it together is new, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But like, my question is like, I think it would be interesting. I forget. So Paul lives. I'm not gonna say where, but he lives in the Midwest, right? And
It's really windy there.
and
What do you think the C stands for?
he he mailed it to
Heard
me.
you're a big Michael Jordan fan.
He mailed it to me, and I mailed it back, and in there was Cyclonus, Scourge, the Mech Fans Toys tracks, and the Constructicons, I believe. Maybe I'm forgetting one, but I think that's it. And then I mailed it back, right? And I would look at like the total cost of shipping, which was significant, and then look at each video and see what they made.
Yeah.
You know, and then see, like, let's take a look real quick.
There we go. Deep dive in the analytics.
Let's take a look
Numbers,
real
man.
quick. Trying to find any one of these. I did well, I'll tell you when Joe gets back. I don't want to miss it. Shit. Can't find it. All right, well, here's the flywheels, for instance. The tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Tracks earned me $10.
Okay. Now, what figure is that?
That's a Legend scale third-party tracks
Okay.
with 3,000 views.
Okay.
Regular viewers are choosing to watch this video less often than usual.
Wow, and that's in bold.
You know, and if I was a person that really like tracked that kind of shit, like I could probably fine-tune my channel into something much bigger.
Sorry, I can't look at that kind of stuff. It messes with my analytics.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, this sit-down Saturday, the one on pricing, scaling, and mini masterpieces, that earned me $37.
Okay.
So, like, it's just interesting, and I'm curious. I'm really curious about this Devastator, but I don't even know if it'll have it up yet. All right, so let's just take a look. The Devastator, 36-minute video, probably took me 4 hours. It's been up for 24 hours. It's not in yet. But it did 3.5 thousand views in 24 hours, which is pretty good. It's so funny. Looking good. This video has gotten 3,458 views, which is similar to the 2,500 to 4,600 that your videos usually get.
You know, and I bet
It's like this passive aggressive. I'm gonna fuck you too, but one day.
it may be that maybe something to do with the algorithm is like that's what it's looking for to optimize your your payout.
But anyway,
It's all fucking magic and smoke and mirrors.
yeah, for sure. Let's see what else. Not much. Eternals trailer. Did you watch it?
I did. I'm confused. I think.
I was confused to see that there wasn't a trailer.
Does it come down to people get bored after lifetimes of eternity and?
Maybe.
I think that's what the whole plot of the movie is. We're bored. Let's fuck shit up.
So it was like Love, Death plus Robot.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Start killing kids.
Yeah, I don't know.
maybe.
I'll tell you, like, I like that I'm confused.
I don't know any of the backstory to that.
So I don't either.
Really?
Yeah, this is for me what I think Guardians was for a lot of people.
That's fair.
So I'm anxious to kind of have that experience.
Yeah, with that and like you don't have anything to compare to, that might spoil the quality. Like you don't have sometimes like it was not like this in the book, and then
Right.
you have a bias. So
Right.
you have no bias for this.
Correct. And I think what I'm going to do is watch the movie and then do some research as to what's considered like the best Eternal story, and then read that.
I've never even heard of this.
I don't think I have.
I mean,
either.
I don't know.
Not that
I've
I'm the
just never
Marvel
heard-
expert, but I mean, I know like the Celestials and the fucking the Trinity face guy and the all that shit. The one above all, and I know a lot of this shit, but I've never heard.
The Living Tribune.
Yes. So I'm gonna go in. I think it looks okay. I think
Yeah.
it looks like something to watch.
Yes, that's the definition of this.
That's gonna be Eternals, something to watch.
This
A quote. Nerve Rage Radio.
this summer, a reason to leave the house.
Maybe. Could it be good? A new Batman animated series is coming. Just kind of mentioning it for the.
Like in the style of the.
I don't know. So I know J.J. Abrams is behind it.
Nice.
Is it?
No. Are you? Wait. Are you? I can't tell if you're serious.
Well, he's gonna be doing a
But
Portals
isn't-
movie. He confirmed a Portals movie. I don't know how I feel about that.
Isn't Bruce Timm involved in it though?
I don't know. I'm trying to find it. It's a bad link, I guess.
Thanks, Phil.
I think it was right when he posted it, but it's changed.
Comicbookresources.com.
blocked?
J.J. Abrams.
Sorry, Phil, we can't use the notes. We've blocked all those websites from our browsers.
So let me pull this up real quick. Dark Knight returns to animation with some very interesting new characters. HBO Max and Cartoon Network have announced they greenlit a straight-to-series order for what the press release describes as an all-new animated series and reimagining of the Batman mythology. It will be titled Batman Caped Crusader, and it features about as impressive creative team that you'll find. J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and longtime DC Comics animator and artist Bruce Timm serving as executive producers. We are beyond excited to work together. Oh, blah, blah, industry bullshit. One day, I just want to read him say, you know what? I don't know how this shit's going to shake out.
Yeah, no,
Just one day.
Just suck each other off all the
Just
time.
one day. Or like, look, this movie's coming. It's worth a watch, but I don't...
It's something to watch.
it's something to watch.
Something to watch.
So, yeah. I don't know. I don't have high hopes, I'll say. I'm interested, but I don't have high hopes. And then we got a long Halloween Part 2 trailer. I don't know if you watched that at all.
I didn't.
looks good.
I'm anxious to see how that
It looks good.
fleshes out because I read the book. I guess last year I borrowed it from you.
It's one of the better ones. One of the better ones. And that's about it. So we do have some questions.
Did we have?
We have a ton of them, actually. So these were leftovers that we didn't have time for on the show. So from Cameron W., he says, so I asked the same question for episode 100, but I'm curious to see if anything has changed. As podcasters, hobbyists, collectors, friends, fathers, and significant others, what gives your life purpose? What gets you up in the morning, gets you ready to put your big boy pants on and face the world? And for basketball shorts, don't want to exclude anybody. I think I started listening around episode 40 to 50 and still look forward to it each week. Thanks for everything. Here's to another 100. For me, it's like, I think it's like, I don't see any other choice.
Yeah, I'm living to breathe, and that's about it.
Like, you just get up, like, you get up and you go to work, whatever that is.
But you got to do it.
You get up and do shit, and you try to enjoy the moments that you enjoy, and
I mean,
Yeah, I mean my day is I work from home and run a business from home and have kids that were in school virtually and still are one day a week but go to school, so getting them ready. And I think the ultimate goal is to not get lost in the minutia of what you're doing every day. It's been 20 years and I had Frosted Flakes for breakfast every morning. That's all I can remember. But stopping to smell the roses, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much I map out my week kind of roughly, and then I just I'm day by day, and most things fill up so quickly that it's like I don't really have much of a choice. So today, I knew I had Nerve Rage in the morning, so my morning, that's done. And then in the afternoon, my new Laura was off, so I was hoping to spend some time with her. And if I don't, then I'll do reviews. And then tomorrow I work, so that's that day. Thursday, I know I'm having a conversation with a guy in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I have Laura. And if she wants to do something else, I'll do reviews. and then, you know what I mean? And then Laura and I plot out at the beginning of every month, when we're going to do certain big things, whether it be
Events.
a dinner or whether it be I think that honestly, man, I think I'm my day to day is just in my mind, it's just you just do shit. Just do shit. Mm-hmm. But I think what gets me out of bed is for the future thing. So
Looking forward to something.
yeah.
The journey.
The fucking pizza night coming up. Mm-hmm. That's my goal, to make it to pizza night. You know what I mean? And then I'll make it to pizza night, and then I'll be okay, Leia's birthday. That's my goal now. Leia's birthday, and that's what I look forward to.
I think that's a good way to you're pinning the events that are the most important to you. and you're working toward I like that, getting towards that, but you have to, do the mundane every day,
The regular shit.
Washing your ass and
Got to do it.
combing your
Most people
hair.
wash their ass.
You got to do it.
Some people don't.
Some people don't. They should though. Let's see. When taking a dump, this is from Joe S.
I talking to me. Joe S. talking to Joe W.
Do you make sure the toilet is clean after, or do you just get up and walk away?
I was thinking. No, I make sure like it's flushed. Like multiple. Like sometimes there's like debris left over. You
Right.
do the courtesy extra flushes.
Yeah.
Flotsam and jetsam, as it were.
I'll tell you, but I'm not necessarily like, if I see like, oh man, there's a speck on the bowl, I'll probably leave it.
Really? Streak marks though. Sometimes a poop will leave a straight up streak mark on the bowl.
So but that usually it gets washed down with the second one, with the second flush. So
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's a streak.
So if it's something significant, I'm gonna get it right there, only to save myself the work that it's gonna take to get it later.
Are you guys a one flush or two flush?
Circumstances dictate the actions.
Yeah.
Well, I always get rid of the production and the flush,
Production.
and then the wiping is the second.
Really?
Dude, I've
I do that,
clogged a
depends
lot
on-
of
depends.
toilets. Look at me. Come on.
Yeah.
I got a special
wipe lot,
toilet,
too.
actually. I
That's
didn't
true.
mention that.
You didn't mention that.
Yeah, it depends on how big the majority dump was.
Yeah.
If it was a major dump, then it's getting its own flush.
Yeah,
I think that was a character in WCW.
Major dump.
It's one of the reasons why, like, a lot of times when these guys come over, like, I'll be cleaning the toilet, like, right before we start. They're like, you don't have to clean the bathroom, dude. Like, and I'm like, yeah, but
There's a streak mark there.
it helps me stay accountable.
That's fair.
So like, so sometimes I'm like, I'll get it on nerve rage, like in my head.
Thanks.
Jose, Hurricane BX.
Yo.
Hair can be flex. I don't know if
Yeah,
you've seen
man.
him lately.
Yeah.
I've been tracking his progress on
yeah.
Insta.
He said, "What's up, Nerve Rage crew? Congratulations on the This Is Sparta milestone. Can you remember the feelings you had when reaching the previous milestones of 100 and 200? And are the feelings palpable to what you feel now recording 300? Is there any aspect of the show you love now that wasn't present in the previous anniversaries?" So, like, I mean, I love a lot more about the show now than I did during a certain period because, like, I don't feel, and it's not a slight, but I don't feel at war ever. Where sometimes I did.
No tension.
Yeah, and I'm much happier with it now. I will say that like, the 200 one, like I've had a great, and 100, 200, and 300 for me have all been events like to look forward to, like the next thing. But
I know. Was I here for 100? I know I was here for
don't
200. Well, I'll tell you, 300 was a lot.
100, but it was
A lot cooler in this room. Without all those
30
man
people.
bodies shoved in the hole.
But 200, I remember I had a great time.
There was a lot of people at 200.
Yeah, there's a lot of
you
people
were
at 200.
you were off the rails. That night.
I was off the rails for
the
300
crazy
too
train.
when I listened back to it. I fucking listen to some of that shit. I was like, oh, you're an idiot. But it's for the laughs, But
Absolutely.
I think that like I think it still feels the same. I think it's just like really an excuse to party and get together. And I like that the show now is like more like, if we get into like really geek shit, it's like a topic, and we like talk
Like the price of toys. We just
and we'll talk about that topic, and then we kind of move on with just regular shit. And like it, I kind of like the way that we do the notes now, where it's like we kind of like talk about it. If we have anything to talk about regarding it, then cool, and if not, then we just list it and get the fuck out of it.
This is I think purposefully or not become a lifestyle podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
More so than a
Yeah. It used to be like it
Truly the
shifted
name.
over time from news heavy. It used to be like Nerve goes quick.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then there's just list off what you did, and then discuss each news note item, and then and then that was the majority of the show.
I mean, part of me thinks we don't even need the notes anymore. Sorry, Phil. We could just do Nerd Weeks and questions.
Yeah, but I only like them because sometimes it leads to like a discussion.
Definitely so.
And like
Yeah.
and also it keeps current. 'Cause sometimes I don't know, because I'm out of the loop. I don't know things until the notes come up. Like,
Right.
Let me look that up.
Same. Caleb said can't think of a question, so congrats and thanks and all that kind of stuff.
Thanks, Caleb.
Eric Wolfenstein said, "How can I be a better podcaster like you guys?"
It's all about being in person, man.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
literally
that
makes the
is-
hugest
it makes-
difference.
It makes a huge difference. All right, so then there's
Is that all the 300 questions?
that's all the
Well,
300
Thanks everybody
questions.
for tuning in.
Yes,
Sorry we
appreciate
couldn't
it.
get them all done that night, but
It
here
was a long
we
night
are.
too.
So Gort sent a question, and he said, when eating a meal that needs to be cut with a knife, such as steak or sausage,
Oh shit!
how do you cut your fuse?
So let me tell you something funny. We were at ToyCon, and he mentioned this and said we should talk about it on the show. And
then you
I
did it,
said,
and he
dude,
said-
send in the question because I won't remember.
And then
And
you
then,
happened to
by the
remember.
end of that, I said I put it in my notes. So that was Gort's.
Cool. From Jack L, he said, question, hey guys, great show, love to hear it. He said, Bobby, I know that from past episodes that you are known to throw down the Caesar salads. I've got the same question, I've got the same reputation around my home, so I've got some related questions. One, what is your go-to dressing, so to speak?
Caesar salad.
Yeah, so he goes into, you got specific off-the-shelf brand that you usually go with, you go with the classic creamy, hybrid style, et cetera, et cetera. So we make ours now.
Oh, you guys are fancy. You guys make everything.
We make ours now
Pizza,
from scratch.
Pasta from
Wow.
scratch.
And it's great. However, if we're in a rush, we go with the Cardini's original creamy.
So I
It's expensive, but let me tell you something. You get what you pay for.
the only times I eat Caesar at home is in a kit. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
remember
I
the
know.
brand. It comes in a big bag
Yep.
and it has the croutons.
A lot of them are
and the
good.
sauce.
A
They're
lot of the
really
kits
good.
are
That's
really
what
good.
we have.
Yeah, so I would eat that, but like
Yeah.
going
A lot of them are
out, my favorite Caesar is Texas Roadhouse and Outback. They have the best fucking Caesar.
So our dressing tastes a lot like Outback's dressing.
Okay,
Our homemade one.
All right, you got me interested.
The key for me, the key to it, and my wife.
Express kit. Is
Yeah,
what it is.
that's it. My wife does. She chills the bowls.
Oh,
freezer.
that's dude. That makes it
Yeah,
professional.
makes it
That's what
good.
it is.
He said, I recently tried a Caesar salad from a local Mediterranean spot, and instead of croutons, they used pita chips. It sounds
Fuck out.
weird,
Get
but it
the
works.
fuck out. That's not Caesar salad.
then he
It's
said-
not an American Caesar salad. Goddamn it.
He said, love to eat it.
Did I tell you guys about Charlie and the Caesar salad? So my little guy Charlie doesn't have a very broad palate,
And that's a fact.
but he tries shit.
Good
Yes.
for him.
Like Kennedy won't. No, I'm not gonna try it. He'll try stuff and he'll lie to you and tell you he likes it, and then
He's
you
nice.
give him
He's
some,
such
and
a
then
nice
he's like,
kid.
"Well, I don't like it that much." So Caesar salad, he tried it, he liked it. You know, we gave him some. I think Kelly had divided the bag of salad. I said, "So, this is what divide by 4 looks like." So now we buy a 2-bag. But I was putting him in bed, tucking him in or whatever, and he went, I said, "What is it?" He's like, "I'm just thinking about that Caesar salad."
That's fucking awesome. Jaina eats it now, which is
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
I mean, it's not the go-to salad. Right?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's got nothing crazy in it. It's just fucking lettuce and cheese.
Yeah,
and
you never
and
know
chicken
if you're at a restaurant you're not familiar with. They're like, "What is this in this salad?" It's like you went to the salad bar next door and put chickpeas. Yeah, I mean, I'll eat chickpeas, but I wasn't. Caesar salad is normally going to be very
But yeah,
specific.
sometimes you never know what the fuck comes in the salad. It could be the whole goddamn
Yeah.
garden in there.
Yeah,
Now, sometimes you got to watch for the anchovies if you're not into that. Because sometimes Caesar salads will come with anchovies in it.
Yeah.
You gotta read it. Like Cobb salad's like normal, but like what's crazy to me is goddamn wedge salad. Why would you go to a goddamn restaurant and have them
I
cut
don't-
out lettuce and
I
a
don't
quarter
like
for
the
you?
lettuce.
So
wedge.
I had a wedge salad at the wedding.
They didn't bother cutting it for you.
And
they just
all
gave
of
you
the ingredients for it were all segregated.
right.
Like, it was like the
like a
just
kit-
the way
like
you
a
like
kit?
it.
Yeah, like the wedge
Segregation, just the way you like it.
Don't say that. That's not true. That's not a fact. It was a wedge of lettuce sitting on the bowl, and then there was like some like bacon bits or something like sitting next to it, and then like some cheese or tomato. Like it was fucking crazy.
It's like they didn't do the salad.
The dressing-
You're supposed to do it for yourself.
It was like a little ketchup pool. You know what I mean? And like you had to take the salad, mix it together, dip it in, and then have a bite.
Yeah, no, not about the wedge salad life.
Have you ever ordered a Caesar salad from a fancy high-end restaurant and have them bring you a wedge salad with a completely uncut
there
Roman?
we go.
So we just got into that. And he said, "How about you, Joe and Chris? You ever tasted Bobby's salad?" So Joe hasn't, but he just said he's curious. And then he says, "Thanks, guys. The show is mad entertaining. I look forward to it every Thursday."
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
man.
You can get it on Tuesday for $1 though. But.
That's true.
Nice plug, bro.
Scorpionox says, now that Disney Plus has turned Falcon and Captain America and the Winter Soldier into the arm fall off boy, now that Disney Plus has turned Falcon into Captain America and the Winter Soldier into arm fall off boy, it's gotten me thinking about all the characters who start out as threats only to stick around long enough to see themselves become the hero and start losing on a regular basis.
I mean that's a trope.
My question is, are there any characters who you like that became less effective as their stories went on? Appreciate Joe bringing up Jujutsu Kaisen. It really
yes.
is the best anime I've watched in a while, so thanks for the recommend.
Really damn good. Piccolo from Dragon Ball.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it, but
Most pro wrestlers.
oh, because that's probably true. I don't know. I feel like in a way, like I feel like when Jason Todd came back as the Red Hood, he was like super effective, and now he's kind of gotten less. So yeah, like
Because he likes Ben and Jerry's. That's what it is.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if offhand.
Was Loki maybe?
Maybe.
Talking about movie verse wise.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess Batman from the Nolan verse. You know, when he came back in the third one because he was beat up and torn up and was less effective. Joe S says diorama tips. Hey, Nerd Rage crew, I'm looking for some tips. Basic stuff for some diorama work I may start doing. When using the foam, do you all use a primer coat or just several layers? So let's start there. I use several layers.
We vary differently in this. So we base coat everything black, and then start from there.
Yeah, and we just start with the base coat.
And historically, you know, pre-production, you know, back when I first started, I would always base coat black. Just
I do
always do black.
I know a lot of people do
from
gray for neutral color, but like you want something with depth. Like
Yeah.
starting from black, you get those natural shadows.
And that's the thing. If you start out with black, then you build the paint up over several layers.
Yeah.
You know, through dry brushing and washes and back and forth, and a little bit of white dry brush.
At the
A
very-
lot of
at
white.
the
Never
very
hurts.
end- at
Never
the very
hurts.
end, you
Never hurts.
got to add more white dry brushing.
Also, what are good color or color combinations for the Autobot orange and Decepticon purple?
That's
I'm gonna let you tackle
What
that.
did you use?
So
Oh, this is so far and past.
well,
that, I
I'm just thinking historically, like those
Crashbox 1.0.
the colors that I think the orange. I think it's just there's an apple barrel. I think it's just an apple barrel orange. Like it may just be
Like just be orange.
It's not orange, but it's creamsicle or something. It's
Parakeet
What
parakeet mohawk.
what I'll tell you. Yeah, there you go.
Shit.
My favorite name of any paint is still Territorial Beige.
Yeah. Would you use that's your base for rocks, right? Usually.
I've used Territorial Beige a lot. I normally do brown and that on top, and maybe some others in there. What I'll tell you, Joe, is go to Walmart and look at the orange paints, and they have a pretty wide variety from a very Caribbean looking, almost pinkish orange to just a light orange, and find that Autobot color. And if you want to mix it, you could add a little yellow in here and there to it to maybe change the tint a little bit. I will say, of all the pigments that are in paint, the orange shit smells the worst. It's not a bad smell, but it's a paint smell.
It's a strong smell.
Yeah.
And my rock base is golden brown.
I figured you use like actual cocaine. I'm sorry. Your rock base is what?
Golden brown from Craftsmart. That's my favorite brown like rock color to as a base.
I when early on I had figured out this brown rock color that I liked, and I had the picture forever. I'd actually written down I'd done it, and then I'd written on the back like the order in which, and it was like 8 layers of paint.
Wow, that's pretty intense.
Process.
Second, Joe got where I was coming from with my question for 300. I apologize for not being clear. What I was getting at was it seems Transformers have nearly been continuous since Beast Wars with some type of media. Even though we got Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, and several other things out now, it doesn't seem like other 80s cartoon franchises have been prolific as Transformers over the last 30 years. So with that, what other franchises, cartoon or not, do you wish had maintained similar momentum? He says, anyways, thanks for the podcast. It's something I look forward to every week. Stay happy, healthy, and sane. Also, Joe S., us the $5 level on Patreon. We do diorama stuff every month. So we're just knocking them out.
More plugs.
Yep. And plenty of paint talk options on there. But I guess I wish all of them. I mean, but at the same time, Chris and I were having this conversation.
Oh, great, really.
Chris and I were having this conversation yesterday, like, die a hero, live long enough to see yourself become
Exactly.
And, but like, there's a lot of them that I feel like I think we could have benefited from having like like I think there was a lot more to explore with G.I. Joe that they never did. Like specifically once the cult stuff got introduced into it. Like there's a lot of stuff that I want to explore more.
Problem is
Yeah.
that we've had a lot of not a lot, but we've had several real life wars, and or maybe at war currently. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're still in the longest running war of the
like,
country ever.
I'm not sure if that like I don't know. It could be one way or another. How that has impact on kids in society, having a war-based running show for children.
Well, if you take
I know
that
that
out,
when you get to the cult stuff, yes, it's out. It's not really like that. But
But even me, like I never watched G.I. Joe and wanted to be a soldier. I never watched Turtles and wanted to be a ninja. Like I never like
really
no,
that part of it.
I wanted to be a ninja my whole life. It wasn't
Turtles.
it wasn't because I watched Turtles. You know what I mean? Like I like it's like it's that shit gets tricky for me.
No, not as in driving children to become wanting to be soldiers, but like having.
And it's not a bad thing to do anyway, really.
Right, correct. We had Memorial yesterday, but having like a real life war and then a counterpart, a cartoon, about soldiers. I'm not sure. Like I guess I can't express myself very well. But
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
It's a very fine line now. That's why the G.I. Joe figures now come with essentially Nerf guns painted black or silver or whatever.
Yeah, and like it's fine when they're fighting ninjas and cults and stuff. But like before, it was more warlike.
Yeah.
Where it's like more army fighting army.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man.
Like with his tanks. And,
Go for it.
Yeah, well, thinking about other franchises like Masters of the Universe, could they have done more seasons of that? They probably could, but let's be honest.
I think the 2000 was definitely good.
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
but
yes,
if
they
we're
cut that
talking
short.
about the nostalgia, tropes
that one
from that's not.
No, it was not good.
But
I mean,
none of it's really good.
That's what I'm saying. None of it was that good.
But Transformers rebooted over and over. You know what I mean?
did.
It's not a continuous thing, and I think that when He-Man reboots it's tricky business, right? Because like the 2000 He-Man is a reboot, and it's fucking great.
It's great.
But then that other Spaceman He-Man shit was a reboot and was not fucking great.
I don't know what
that was the last gasp, is what that was.
That shit was awful.
At the end of the original run, they just did He-Man instead of Masters of the Universe, and he was in space.
I don't remember that.
You're
Dude,
good.
astronaut characters.
Don't worry about it.
Wild. Dumb.
More dumber than Mechanic?
Yes.
Wow.
And I think that they could have done like a lot of those things. Like I think if they were going to reboot them, as long as you stay true to the spirit, which is where I think fucking Transformers went off the rails. Like if
But they're the successful ones.
yeah, but there's been unsuccessful. Yeah, I mean,
Objectively speaking, like they're the ones that keep having product and series, even though
Yeah, but
they ran off the rails.
So
for us,
so those are two different conversations. So I think that any of these could have continued to do reboots, said fuck the spirit, just do what kids are into or what we think, and been fine. But it's not what I would want. You know, and it's the same with Transformers. Like Prime, even though it's vastly different from G1, it still feels in the spirit of Transformers for me. It's one of those things that I can't tell you why. It just feels right. Whereas, Unicron trilogy doesn't feel right at all. But like, if they were going to, I think that all of these franchises could have just rebooted and just changed them into whatever and just kept the branding the same, which is pretty much what Transformers did.
Right.
But in order to do it, and then also me want them to do it, they'd have to stay somewhat in the spirit. And I think I could have gone with all of them. I don't think there's any of them that I'm like, man, I'm glad that shit's done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? If the stuff never had gone away, we wouldn't be fond of the memory of what it was.
because like I said, thinking back, like there wasn't anything that was like, man, I wish that kept going. But none of it was like, I'm glad it's over either. It's just like, yeah, that was that, and then
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking really about reboots because we don't have anything that's really ongoing, with the exception of arguably the DC and Marvel universe.
The Simpsons.
which has been
That's the only
The Simpsons,
longest
yeah.
running
Yeah,
continuity
yeah, yeah.
ever. That and Law and Order.
Carter Jeggings, I think, says, "Hey guys, congrats on 300. Question: how hyped would you be for Mandalorian season 3? Why doesn't Hunter use his hunting senses that much in Bad Batch? Do you like or hate Omega?" So I think this is a new listener. So welcome.
Welcome.
So I hate Omega as of now. Omega is the escort.
Omega.
The escort.
The
kid.
escort mission.
Yeah, the escort mission. And I don't know when this got sent, but in the last episode or the one before, you do get Hunter does use some of his
abilities,
his senses,
Tracking skills.
Yeah, he definitely does. So it might have been before that, but I think dude, I don't know who is in charge of this shit, but it does not seem consistent with Clone Wars.
It's probably new people.
I'm
interested in Mandalorian season 3, but like I don't crave it either.
Yeah. So how hyped would you be for Mandalorian season 3? So here's the thing: I don't like it. I don't hate it.
I like it a lot.
And, Chris likes it a lot, and Joe likes it a lot. But it's like it's kind of the Captain Marvel for me, where like I don't hate it. I can watch it. If you guys are like, hey man, we're having a big party this weekend, we're gonna watch Captain Marvel for the 2-year anniversary, I'd be like, all right.
We're also having baked chicken.
Well, so that's what I was gonna get to. It's like baked chicken for me. I can eat it. It's palatable, but can somebody please pass a fucking salt?
Some Old Bay.
Always a winner. So yeah, Mandalorian doesn't do it for me, and there's a Star Wars conversation out there waiting to happen. But like I think it's a conversation that I want to have. Maybe with Joe, because I do think I'll be honest. Sometimes I think it bums you out.
I'm just tired of talk. And I mentioned this
about 9, but mine is more so about Mandalorian.
Okay.
But like the for that to be the follow up thing, and it's the simultaneity of how successful it is, which I'm happy for. How popular it is, which I'm also happy for. Simultaneously, it's fucking destroying me from the inside out. It's such a weird thing because I'm so happy that like the Star Wars hate era is kind of over.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
And at the same time, what has made people happy makes me unsatisfied.
Just unplug from it. Just don't watch it.
Yeah, but I can't. I tell my brother to stop doing heroin all the time too.
Well,
you know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I can't.
and in all honesty, doing what we do would be very challenging to. Yeah. I mean, you and Joe can hang out those days.
I mean, my kids love it.
Yeah. Well,
my kids love it. They're like, but my kids have loved all of it.
That goes back to what's the target audience?
Right.
Is this for us?
See, I think it might be.
I like. Well, 2 out of 3 of us like it. Enjoy it a lot.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the market of their collectibles, it goes from baby toys to
it's full range.
$500 life size Baby Yodas.
But I think that's the market you want to be in as a business.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
The demographics
For
of every fucking thing.
Demos, yeah. That's what it's all about.
It's one that worked. I would say it's probably the most successful. Like we've talked about it here all the time, that like their marketing plan since Return of the Jedi has been get the badass shit for the boys and the adults, and have the cutesy shit for the kids.
Yep.
So you have Ewoks and the Emperor, and then you have BB-8 and Kylo Ren, and then you have
Jar Jar Binks and Darth Maul.
Yeah, 100%.
I know.
It's
so ridiculous to say it out loud.
Yeah, you have I can't remember Rogue One's cutesy.
It's a robot. And it's not cute, but like,
I mean K2SO would have to be
he's
it.
endearing.
Yes. But like Porgs and the Red Knights.
Then episode 2 you had sand.
That's true. So like and with Mandalorian it's the same thing as Mandalorian and the Mandalorians and Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And I canceled my Hot Toys Baby Yoda.
Really?
Yep. And Sasha waived the fee for me.
Wow.
It's just like a Jedi mind trick. I saw that hand motion there.
I wonder how.
These are not the fucking.
But I know they've got notes in your account, and all it says is this motherfucker. That's all it says.
So it's funny because I had all this shit lined. I had all my ammunition lined up. I had all my purchases over the years of the totals. Let me tell you something. It wasn't a good thing for me to look at, but I had it.
Yeah.
And then I had like all this like evidence and everything else of why they should waive the fee for me. I was also willing to pay the fee because I agreed to the terms and conditions. So I'll take responsibility for it. I'm just willing to see if you're willing to go the extra mile in customer service for a very supportive customer. Very supportive. Too supportive, some might argue. And my last because I had like a little outline written. I had like my last go-to was going to be, and you know the main reason why I'm not going to buy the Hot Toys Yoda, sir? Because I'm satisfied with the Sideshow one.
There you go. There you go.
That was going to be like my upper finish him. But I didn't have to. I was like, I would like to waive. I was like, and look, I understand. He's like, yeah, we could do that. I was like, you sure? Because I have a lot of evidence to suggest why you should.
I did a lot of work on this. Let me have my spiel.
Right. But yeah, so no problem. And I think I probably have the inferior one, but it's fine.
You already have one.
It does the job.
Yeah.
The kids love it. It's part of the house now. It's like
Apparently, the Hot Toys one, like it's advertised as having a movable jaw, but it's tearing underneath the chin.
Of course. Of course it would be.
And what are people doing with his mouth? Is what I want to know.
Oh my God!
oh
Come
Lord.
on.
All right.
It is 500 years old. It's fine.
It's 50.
50 years old. That's plenty old enough, I guess.
I guess. KFC wrote in again.
Oh, here we go.
Hey guys, hope
Tell
you
them
all...
to send you more shit.
I know, man. What's up with that? Somebody put in an X-Transbots collectors group just a picture with text on it that said Bobby is mean. That's it. That's it. That's it. Bobby is mean. And I was like, all right. Hey guys, I'm a pretty nice guy, man. Hey guys, hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. I feel this might be a Bobby question, but I need an option on some MP stuff. Start by saying I got into MP late 2018 and then third party early 19. That being said, I don't have I don't have a combiner and wondering about scale of all these combiners. So
you have a whole videos on this.
I have multiple videos on this, but so it's kind of a two-part question. But first, how do you think the FT combiners will scale with the stuff that's out? Come on, Keith. You got to watch some videos too, man. Secondly, what does scale good with that? Probably a question that has been asked a lot, but I'm a noob to the third-party scene combiner. My wrestling question, okay.
You're gonna really hang your hopes up on the FT combiner.
So there's basically two scales, right? For that people are using for combiners. There's the Zeta scale, which Fans Toys is going to be consistent with. X-Transbots is fairly consistent to, and DX9 is consistent with. They work great with MPs, in my opinion.
How much do you think it burns Toys World that people call it the Zeta scale?
Oh, it's got to eat.
Because they still...
And but the thing is just easier to say. If the two companies did the exact same thing but were named opposite, I would still call it the Zeta scale.
Because Toy World did the Devastator first, and that was the first of the scale.
Correct. And then there's kind of the other scale, which is the older scale that some people still use, which is fine.
Me, I like it.
But like the TFC scale, I call it for lack of a better term. But Feral Rex is in there.
Gravity Builder.
Gravity Builder is in there. All the Warbitron stuff is in there.
Yep.
And that works fine too. It's just it's a little smaller.
Warbitron.
Yeah. I mean, Generation Toy, Transformation. Yeah.
I liked it, that aesthetic, man.
I did too.
I have 2 cents on this. Believe it or not.
Oh wow!
If I'm looking at starting a Transformers collection and I'm looking at Masterpiece, I'm going to probably just start a Legends collection.
Yes.
Have you seen that Minosaur that's coming out?
I have it. I have the Motor Master here.
Holy!
I think if I
shit.
started with Legends, I might still be collecting Transformers.
So let me tell you this: you want me to really fuck your head up? If I was starting today, I'd probably go mainline.
Wow.
Oh, like what I'm doing.
Yes.
I won't tell you how many Shark-Cons I ordered. I'm stupid.
Zuvio, same amount as Zuvio? You gonna have a Shaka-Con box?
I might.
But I'll tell you why.
I'm gonna fill a whole Detolf up just
Dude,
loose.
fill a fish tank with fucking...
Dude!
Bro, come on.
Bro. I think I legit ordered 10 of them. Don't tell my wife. Oh wait, she listens.
So look,
Order fish tank too, bro?
I think that I'll tell you why. Marvel Legends taught me why. Because I can have shitty figures displayed well, and I'm still happy.
That's a great point.
As long as you have all of them.
And they're making all of them.
Yep. That's what
they've got to go. They've got to go around. Like the Ultra Magnus that they have out right now is not good.
So I think
but
I would.
If they come around to that.
For the main line?
Yeah,
no, it's awful.
So I think I would swap some out with third-party options. Like for instance,
the
combiners.
Yeah.
Like I think if I had a Generation Toy, I think that would work fine.
Yep.
You know,
and it's much cheaper now. You can get the whole thing for like $150.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they if Hasbro came out with a proper Devastator that like a studio series.
They might.
Not that thing you looked at, but
right. No.
The 86 movie stuff.
Right. I'll tell you, I had to. And no disrespect to him, but I had a dude hit me up and say if I could plug him selling some shit on eBay, and I was like, yeah. And so I got to try to remember to do that for Sit Down Saturday. But if I don't, I don't. You know, I do my best.
Yes.
And he was selling some stuff, and he was like, I said, "Are you selling MMC's Predacons by chance? I'm thinking about buying them back."
I'll have the black ones if you want them. I'll give them to you.
No, I don't want them.
I love that black set. I think it's
Do you
great.
have it?
No.
Do you want it? I'll
I
give
mean,
it to you for
sure.
free.
Yes.
Hold on after the show. I'm gonna go get it.
That's fine.
So,
Bobby picked that up for me. He touched it first.
I remember. You know what? I picked one of those up for, I believe, Hurricane B Flex at that show.
I
Yeah.
picked one up too for somebody, Brandon maybe.
Yeah, you
Baltimore
picked up
Brandon?
several. You picked up several.
That's a dude I miss seeing too, man.
Oh, he didn't come by. He was a cool dude.
I forgot.
Maybe he got out of Transformers too.
I forgot. I'll be honest. I forgot to invite him.
Damn.
It's
He was a Halloween guy.
Yeah.
Like if someone invited to a Halloween party, that's part of the group.
so it's like So it's I'm out of practice
Of
organizing events.
Yeah.
leaving people out.
Yeah. So let's see what else. I forget where I was going with that. Where were we before?
So you're asking about the Paracons.
Yes. And I was like, how much are you asking for him? Mm-hmm. And he told me what he was asking for him.
You talking about the Pharaoh Rex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was telling me what he was asking, how much per bot. I left his ass on red.
Yeah.
No disrespect to him. I was like, man, I can't even respond to you right now. I'm just,
Yeah,
I can appreciate how you would want that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
And
no.
it wasn't a crazy amount.
But still.
But still.
Were those sold as did they do a box set at the end for that?
They may have.
They had. I mean,
I know they did for
black
the
ones.
for the black
Black and purple.
Nemesis.
black and purple
Yeah.
set.
And then he had my wrestling question for Pickerton.
Oh boy.
Does he have any standout New Jack memories?
You know, I never had a personal encounter with New Jack. I did see him perform. You know, are you guys familiar with New Jack? He passed away recently, Jerome Young. He was a guy in ECW. He would come out. They'd play Natural Born Killers
Oh, really?
by
Ice Cube and
yeah, totally unlicensed. And they would play the song the whole time because he would just come to the ring and he was doing the staple guy. He stapled dollars to people's heads, and you know he jumped off anything. I'll tell you, if you have not seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode with New Jack, if you've never seen Dark Side of the Ring, watch the New Jack episode. It's batshit crazy.
I want to watch a bunch of them. You've really
Bro,
made me want to watch.
Start at the beginning. He bled a guy out. It's called the Mass Transit Incident. You guys probably never heard of this. They were running it was like a ECW house show. You know, it wasn't on TV or anything. And somebody didn't show up. Well, this guy just shows up, says, "Yeah, I'm here to wrestle." Nobody. I guess it was pretty unorganized. Turns out he was like 17. Whereas like he called himself Mass Transit. He's got like a bus driver uniform on. Huge fat guy, big
Right.
old guy. Probably like he looks like he's like my size, but add another 200 pounds.
At 17 years old.
Yeah. Gets in the ring and he tries to start telling New Jack, this is what we're going to do. And the new guy doesn't tell anybody
No.
anything.
Right.
You just try not to die, right? And New Jack literally bled him out. I mean, they had to call, like, he cut him deep. And that's a crazy story. There's a couple other incidences. He was very reckless. He wrestled. There's a guy named Gypsy Joe that I had an encounter. He's from Tennessee.
Gypsy Show from
He
Tennessee.
was wrestling when he was 70. New Jack wrestled him when he was 70.
Love it. Love to see it.
And the dude's gimmick is he didn't sell anything.
Did he get any points on his scorecard for just keeping solid foods down?
Maybe he might not have after this. So this was a legit. What I'm talking about was legit in front of like 40 people. They were calling New Jack the N word, and he was pretty.
What?
Oh yeah, in Tennessee at a wrestling show 10 years ago. Well, New Jack.
10 years ago, it's not that long
You
ago.
say it's like 1962.
Yeah, it's 2010.
So
2011, bro.
Gypsy Joe's gimmick is
The Marvel Universe is out.
True. They all went and saw Iron Man afterwards. Gypsy Joe's gimmick is he no sold. He didn't sell for people. Like you punch him and he'd just keep coming. New Jack made him sell. He beat the shit out of that old man.
Wow.
Like he hit him with a barbed wire bat and the barbed wire gets all tangled in dude's
Holy
hair.
shit.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Those are the couple memories I have of New Jack. But if you've never seen an episode of Dark Side of the Ring, it's
Check it
on
out.
Vice.
Yeah, I wanna check it
And
out.
I think a lot of them are actually on
Dude,
YouTube.
a lot of Vice's shit is great.
It is. They got a good angle. They're actually doing a Dark Side of football now too. They're talking to NFL players and stuff. I haven't watched it yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dogfighting, wife beating kind of thing.
Then
probably.
His last question was, what do you think of the pricing of Skull Cruncher?
You just pre-ordered it on air.
Yeah, because like here's the thing, and I've said this before. Like, look, you want the sad news? I love mopping, especially when the mop is right. You know,
Got a good feel to it.
when it's got a good feel to it. I would mop for far less than what they pay me to mop. And I would buy this for far more than what they asked for it
Don't
because
tell them,
exactly. Don't tell either one of them. You know what I mean? Because I want it,
Yeah.
and I like the price becomes. It's obligatory almost. It doesn't matter because the want outweighs
It's
it.
sold out on BBTS already.
Good thing you guys got it on air. Didn't wait after the show.
There we go. buddy.
After the show, you'd been fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, value, as much as you want to think is something that's objective, is not. It's how much you're willing to pay for something and how much you're willing to get paid for something.
Right.
What was the other?
See, I was trying
one
to think.
they did?
I want to. They did 2 other ones, and I want to say they were 150.
Well, that's what I'm going back.
It was
what's the show?
Mind Wipe. I can't remember the
so
name
long
of
ago,
it.
though.
And Weird Wolf. Weird
Which
Wolf
was not a good figure.
Weird Wolf.
Well,
It's not
Lupus, right?
Lupus. And I can't remember what Mind Wipe's name was. Multiple sclerosis, maybe. And
It's fucked up.
We're all going to hell.
but yeah, I can't
welcome.
remember. You go. Hey, my dad used to say you go to hell for the company or heaven for the climate.
So what's funny is Lupus was kind of a brick. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah,
and now
it goes for like.
this
yeah,
is sold auctions on eBay, $350.
Wow.
So I think Fans Toys is like, well, somebody's going to get the money. Might as well be us.
Like I mean, it's like I said, that maybe they didn't know their worth. Maybe
I
they
think that's
didn't
what
know
it
their
is.
value. You know,
And look, it's sold out everywhere that I've
Everywhere.
seen it.
Yeah.
It's sold out.
That
So
means
you-
they could charge more.
Yep.
If
I
something's
mean,
sold
I-
out, it immediately means you could charge more.
Yep.
Even like the smaller sellers, I saw posted that well, I'm only getting 60 of these. First come, first serve. Say you want it if in the comments or whatever.
And then our last question is from Tyler G. Congrats on 301.
Thank you. We made it to,
What it do, Nerd Rage crew? Congrats on the milestone. Here's to episode 600. My question is simple. Do you ever miss being a Transformers fan before third party? I sometimes reminisce to when I get back or get excited to check the toy aisle in a toy store to see if new waves hit. Not so much the hunt, just being satisfied with a new figure regardless of the line or aesthetic. I'm happy with how things are now, but the game has changed significantly over the years, and I wonder if my raised standards have impacted my enjoyment of the brand more positively than negatively. Figured I'd extend the question to you and see what your opinions are. Also, what separates dad jokes from good rap bars? I fucked with a blind bitch and felt like Cena. She couldn't see me coming. It's a bar one of my friends said in a freestyle, and at the time I thought it was really clever, but also realized that it's not unlike the cleverness of dad jokes. Maybe that's why I love both.
Bars.
Yeah, build the booth. Happy Memorial Day. Keep up the great work. So, here's the thing with me. Before third party, I wasn't into it.
same. Third party is what got me back into it.
Yeah.
Masterpiece got me into it, which
Let the
right
third party.
behind, like, oh shit, somebody's making Dinobots.
Right.
Shank. Here we go.
So my thing is like I still have. There was a time where I still had like the kind of hunt. And I know that wasn't what he was talking about specifically, but just the enjoyment of a retail figure, messing with it, whatever, looking forward to the new wave. And that was when I was hunting shit in retail. But now, even with the Marvel Legends, the Black Series, the G.I. Joe, the whatever, and the Turtles, for Christ's sake, like they fucked the game up so bad that I still had to pre-order everything.
Yeah.
So like my engagement as a consumer to retail is no different with third party than it is with any of it.
It's almost just exciting to see something at retail, whether or not you're going to buy it. And I think that
Yeah.
may be what he was saying.
But like, I think that like I don't.
It's like a treasure hunt.
If you want a treasure hunt, man, get into Pokemon cards
Yeah,
and try to fight grown ass men in Target.
dude with LL Bean fucking pants on.
Oh, well, aside from that, Target completely
know.
so they're raising their prices significantly to try to cut down on resellers buying on all their sports cards. And then it's there's a couple other variables, but I thought it was interesting. They're raising the prices like I think like by 25% on everything to try to cut down on the scalp.
And we did actually get one more comment. I just forgot about it. It was on Twitter from Passive Bear. And I think his was just more of a comment, but I wanted to read it. He said, my dudes, I was honored to be the first question on the fantastic 300th episode. I went to the movies for the first time in almost 2 years. My state, Arizona, is mostly open, but the theater was still practicing social distancing, and I have to say I enjoyed it. I would be fine if this didn't go back to normal. Is there anything you're hoping doesn't go back to normal?
Dude, traffic. Bro, like,
Yeah.
traffic's already gotten, like,
Dude,
I think it's
Memorial
still not
Day, Thursday, Friday, traffic was fucked.
It's still not as bad as pre-COVID, but I mean, like, if I miss anything from COVID, it was like clear roads.
Yeah.
Like fucking clear roads were amazing.
It was almost freaky how clear the roads were.
Yeah,
Like
it was
this
just
time,
me. It was only essentially
this time
the
last
beginning.
year.
It was just like 3 cars on the road.
Yeah.
I'd be happy with movies coming straight to streaming services. Mm-hmm. You know, even if you had to buy them.
But you like theaters, though.
I do, but you know what I would do? I would just make it more like Justice League. Make an event. Like, we all come over, have food, you know what I mean? Sit down, watch a movie, pod afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like that. I would make it more of that instead of the theater experience. I would just try to make the theater experience in my house.
Which,
You know,
I mean, you have a theater for a reason.
Yeah.
COVID is what made you use a theater.
So that's one thing. That might be it for me, though. Really, I like to get out and about. I like to get in the shit. So,
honestly, like, not much. I mean,
the real estate market. I would like for that to stay.
yeah.
Like, dude, I'm telling you, it's a bubble. It's going to be 2008 all over again.
Yeah.
More people.
It's gonna be bad.
More restaurants delivered to my house. Oh, there's a new ghost kitchen that's coming.
Ghost?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we talked about
yeah.
the
One in Mount
Mr.
Airy.
Beast
Who's
burger.
doing it?
It's George Lopez has got tacos.
George
The comedian.
Lopez,
It's
yes.
called Lopez Tacos.
He got a TV
And-
show.
Yeah,
George Lopez show.
He's been it's listed on DoorDash, but it's not. And like I figured out, like the one I was talking about is based out of the Green Turtle there in Mount Airy.
Mm-hmm.
But the address they give for this one, I can't find. It doesn't like
exist.
the maps.
It's a real ghost kitchen, bro.
It's a real ghost kitchen. But anyways, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like Matt B hit me up, and I guess wherever he lives, there's several. Other ones he was telling me that they've tried out. And it's just interesting to see this concept.
Yeah,
keep,
I
Yeah.
keep the ghost kitchens happening.
Yeah. And with that, I think we can wrap it up unless anybody has anything else. Shout out to the Cool Table if you're a part of it.
All of you.
Yeah, everybody. Actually,
Shout out to all of you being
Passive
up
Bear
for
is a part of it. Everybody's on. And then shout out to the rest of the Nerd Rage crew. Raul, who unfortunately couldn't make it to 300.
He was far. Makes sense.
Yeah, but he was going.
He wrote a strongly worded email.
Yes. And I hope he's doing well. And he handles our Instagram, which is at Nerd Rage Radio IG, and then we have our Twitter, which is at Nerd Rage Cast, I think. And then we have that's run by Marilyn Phil, and he also does our notes. Shout out to Dante, he works on the Facebook and has Off the Mask podcast, and then everybody behind the scenes.
And our email address is
nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com if you want to send a question. Yeah. And that's it.
with that, flap your labia.
Say, Steve Tank.
Tight dick player.